To say I will be alongside Joe Tomlinson as we look to crown who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League. Once again, all 20 Premier League clubs represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-player or celebrity fan. And we are down to the quarter-final stages. 4 big matches still to come today, Joe.
Yeah, I'm predicting plenty of goals today, that's for sure. But a quick reminder for everybody watching, please do stay home and help save lives. And the prize fund from this ePL Invitational is being donated to the Players Together initiative. So that is great to see. Right, let's have a quick look at the game you're about to see, because this one is going to be entertaining. I guarantee you that. It's Leicester versus Southampton. James Maddison, who scored 8 goals in his first game, versus Michael Obafemi, who scored 7 in his. So I'm expecting fireworks from this one. Let's have a look, though, at the round in full and what you can expect to see today. Obviously, Leicester versus Southampton coming up. We've also got Charlie Taylor versus Keinan Davis in Burnley, Aston Villa. The winner of that would pay the winner of this game. On the other side of the draw, we've got Max Aarons against Emerson, Norwich versus Chelsea, and we've got John Egan versus his Ireland colleague, Aaron Connolly. So loads of great games, Smithy. Do you want to just take the people through the rules quickly, though?
Yeah, here are the all-important rules that you do need to be aware of for the EPL Invitational. It is a straight knockout tournament. You lose one game, you're out. It's as simple as that. And every single round consists of just one game. Every Premier League club represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-pro or a celebrity fan. These are the all-important in-game rules that you need to be aware of. 2 6-minute halves for every single match. In the event of a draw, golden goal will be used to determine the winner, just like we saw in the final of the first EPL Invitational. Diogo Jota of Wolves needing golden goal to defeat Trent Alexander-Arnold of Liverpool. And finally, 85 rated Premier League squads in kickoff mode to establish who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player.
Yeah, we've seen some incredible games and some incredible goals. We can have a look at the round of 16 goals that we saw yesterday. This was Norwich versus Tottenham. Now, Tottenham had come for a tough first game. Ryan Sessegnon had to beat favourite Spencer Owen. But he really struggled against Max Aarons in this round. Max Aarons took a 2-0 advantage within 40 minutes thanks to Timu Pukki, and then got a third before half-time too. Abel Hernandez smashing in low. In the second half, Ryan Sessegnon came out much, much better. Fist pumping when he scored his goal, but it didn't last too long, did it? Because Max Aarons quickly got a 4th goal to make it 4-1. Ryan Sessegnon nearly leaving the room. The next game saw Manchester City come up against Burnley. There was lots of talk in the FIFA community about Phil Foden's standard. He was regularly getting 25 wins on weekend league, so we expected a lot. But he went 1-0 down. He did equalise 1-1. But Charlie Taylor, who's developing into something of a dark horse with this Burnley team, looked really strong. He took the advantage yet again. This time it was Jack Cork. Phil Foden managed to peg him back one more time, though. This time Sergio Aguero smashing home low. But you guessed it, one more time, Jack Cork popped up, arriving late to fire home low to make it 3-2. The game wasn't done and dusted there, though, because there was still more drama. Another goal, this time from Jay Rodriguez for Burnley, put the game beyond doubt. We did see Phil Foden get a consolation through Sergio Aguero, but it didn't matter. Burnley progressed to the next round, 4-3 victors. For Manchester United, Jofre Archer smashed home with Paul Pogba, an absolute screamer of a goal. That one, Manchester United to go 1-0 up. Sheffield United then hit back John Egan. We didn't know too much about him, but he scored a great goal there. Jofre Archer must be kicking himself after this one, though. Giving the ball away, David McGoldrick getting another goal there. This game swung both ways, though. Jofre Archer then equalised with Anthony Martial before putting Manchester United in front. This time it was Bruno Fernandes scoring low at the front post. John Egan didn't give up, though. He scored with Ollie Norwood to make it 3-3 before then going on and winning the game with this rifled effort from McGoldrick. Look at the celebration. The arms are on show. The final game saw today's player, James Maddison, come up against Max Meyer. Max scored a great short free kick early doors to put Crystal Palace 1-0 up, but James stayed calm throughout. Lovely link-up play between Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy brought him back level. But don't write Max Meyer off. He went up the other end and scored again. This time it was Wilfried Zaha putting Palace 2-1 up. James Maddison used Harvey Barnes to great effect, scoring at the front post. You can see what that meant to him in the 67th minute before eventually getting a winner. The James Maddison dragbacks that we've seen so much from Vardy set up a Jose Perez. Look at the celebration and what it meant to Madders, Smithy.
Such great competition, and it's been brilliant so far, the mix of current players, ex-players, celebrity fans. But I think Madders has been one of the best in terms of the celebrations, very expressive in his celebrations, Joe. He probably wins that battle so far.
Yeah, 100%. He was in Callum Wilson's head from minute one, wasn't he? Talking about living rent-free in the first game. Then we saw big celebrations after that victory against Max Meyer. You know, it's always great to see entertainment, and James Maddison is definitely one of our more entertaining players. But let's not forget about Michael Obafemi. You know, against Tony Bellew, he was chest pumping, he was going absolutely mad, and that was against a world champion boxer. So I'm looking forward to seeing how entertaining he is today as well.
Yeah, and I'm pleased to say we can talk to both players. It's worth pointing out that not only are they two of the most animated and celebrated players whenever they score a goal, but they're also the two top scoring competitors in this tournament so far. James Maddison has played a game more, but of all the competitors left in it, these two are the highest scoring. Here's Madders now. Madders, are we expecting more goals today from you? A lot of goals because you've scored a bucket load so far in this tournament.
Yeah, you can expect a lot of goals. A lot of mind games, and hopefully a Leicester win. So yeah, let's go.
Hopefully a Leicester win, you say. Have you been speaking to many of your Leicester teammates? We saw Wilfred and Ndidi, a bit of stick from some of his teammates in ePL Invitational 1 because he had one game and lost quite emphatically. Have any of the Leicester boys been in touch with you?
I got a text off Kelechi Iheanacho this morning, actually, saying you're welcome. I think he scored 4 in the first game against Callum Wilson, so I think he was quite happy with himself. But like I tweeted earlier on, I've got to make amends for Wilfred and Ndidi's work in the first tournament, losing 8-2, I think it was. So I'm trying to make amends for him.
Yeah, it was. Worth pointing out, it was to Diogo Jota, who went on to win the whole tournament. So trying to give him some praise there. Let's talk about your opponent, Michael, today, because he was very vocal. I don't know if you saw that, but he played against Tony Bellew and was a brave man being vocal against that man, because I wouldn't be vocal against Tony Bellew. But he actually said before the game, please take your son out of the room because this isn't going to be pretty. And he was right. So you've got a bit of a battle on your hands today.
Yeah, luckily it's just me in the room. I ain't got no kids, so no, it's going to be a tough one. He scored obviously 7 goals, I think it was, but I think he'll be nervous, to be honest. So we'll have to see what happens.
And you have been very vocal. You have been brilliant to watch. Final message to your opponent before we get going with this game. What would you like to say to your opponent, Madders?
Like to wish him all the best, and just hope that the 9-0 in real life isn't like getting in his head at all, and just focus on FIFA.
Oh, wow, he's gone there. He has gone there. Of course, James Maddison referring to Leicester beating Southampton 9-0 this season. And we saw that reaction from Michael there, clapping his hands. He couldn't believe what he heard there. He's mentioned it, Joe. He's mentioned the 9-0.
I can't believe it. Michael, let's get your reaction to that straight away.
I mean, we went back to their ground and we buried them, and that's what we've got to say. 2-1.
So do you think you're going to bury Leicester again today?
100%.
And obviously we saw you
100%.
We saw you very vocal in your first game against Tony Bellew. Can we expect more animated scenes today? You're going to be giving Madders some over the chat?
Oh, 100%. I'm going to be in his head. For minute 1.
Right, let's get it on then. No messing about. Looking forward to this one, Smithy.
Yeah, absolutely love the thoughts of both players there. Let's bring in our casters. As always, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley have been joining Joe and myself, commentating throughout this tournament. They will be with us till the end of the tournament. Of course, the final day is tomorrow. Brandon, got to come straight to you first. We heard James Maddison mention the 9-0. Michael saying, I'm in his head, I'm going to win. This is brilliant, isn't it? Real mind games going on in this one.
Yeah, amazing stuff. It's what we want at the end of the day. But of course, this is a FIFA tournament with professional Premier League clubs involved. But it's all about entertaining those fans all around the world as well. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, Smithy, and say that I think whoever wins this game will make the final. on this side of the bracket. I think whoever wins this game out of these two players goes on to win their semi-final, then will make the final from this side of the bracket. Because I feel like one of them scored a handful of goals, the other one scored even more goals than that. He scored 5 goals with himself, did Michael Obafemi, which is insane to do. So I honestly think one of these two will make the final.
Oh, okay, I like that. I like you sticking your neck out with the prediction. Richard, these have been two of the most entertaining players to watch. I know they can hear me. I hope they're going to give it large when they celebrate like they have been previously. And also scored a lot of goals. Scoring competitors left in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, Smithy. The celebrity fans almost fall to one side. This is the business end of the tournament right now. 2 players, 2 comfortable FIFA players. They're up for it. I'm up for it. This is going to be tasty, Smithy.
Okay, we are ready to go. It's our first quarter-final of the day, our first game of day 4. James Maddison representing Leicester against Michael Obafemi of Southampton. Let's head over to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Smithy. And here we go then. Day 4 of the EPL Invitational is officially underway. And we're underway with quarter-final action. Could we have an early goal as well from the word go? Michael Obafemi wants to get back on the score sheet. Nearly did in about 3 minutes of this game. But Richard, I come to you. How do you see this game going? Because I touched upon it. I honestly think one of these two have got enough in the tank to maybe make a grand final.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you, Brandon. I think if you just look at the performances that we've had, Maddison played that extra game because he had to get through round 1 as well. Dispatched Callum Wilson 8 goals to 1. He then had a much different game versus Max Meyer, 3 goals to 2. So he's seen that he can be expansive in the attacking areas, but he can also defend very well. He can see games out. He's got that sort of backbone and determination to grind through games. Obafemi could be in here. Early start for Michael Obafemi. Slots it in at the near post. What a start for the Saints.
Michael, at this rate, where was your team of the season? FIFA item. You keep scoring goals.
Crazy. They ain't watching.
Incredible start to our first quarter-final of the day. We must go out and say this is the furthest that both of these teams have got in an EPL Invitational. Last time out, it was Leicester that fell in the round of 16. Obviously, that was the 8-2 onslaught that they were talking about with Diogo Jota for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who went and won the whole tournament. On the other side of that, Southampton went out in the first round.
Jack Stevens.
Back to goal. Chance, fantastic defender at the back from Jack Stevens in the end. But this time in Rich, they've got new recruits in both teams, Leicester and Southampton. And one of these two teams will be making it to the final 4. Danny Ings nearly with a chance to make it 2-0 there. Schmeichel clears up the danger.
Let's not forget James Maddison last night, Brandon. He went 1-0 down early against Max Meyer. He came back and won the game. Vardy and Iheanacho leading the line for him. They've been so dangerous. Jamie Vardy looking for the near post. Hits the side netting. This is tense.
The pre-talk as well, of course, as we know, when Leicester did go to St Mary's, this
how lucky is that?
In the Premier League. Back in October last year, back to goal. Would have been 2 once again. Danny Ings looking to get on the score sheet, but the story of that was, Richard, it was a 9-0 win for Leicester. Obviously, Michael returned the comment saying, away, we beat you 2 goals to 1, but a 9-0 victory it was. I know Maddison did get on the score sheet in that game. Can he do it here on the virtual pitch in a quarter-final?
This is the sort of the rubber match, isn't it? Both players and both teams have won 1 game at each other's ground. This is the decider. Who's going to be going through to the semi-final? Leicester or Southampton? Ayozo Perez looking to get down that byline. Good defending again from Ryan Bertrand.
It's one thing that we've seen all the time is that drag back. It's simple, it's effective. If you're out there and you're a FIFA player yourself, get on it, that drag back. It's so simple to do and it's so deadly. There's a chance, could be another one. Honestly, Rich, this could have been 3 or 4 goals already slotted away in the first 25 minutes of this game.
Looking for that long ball again, isn't he? Over the top. Kasper Schmeichel was fantastic in the round of 16 match for Leicester City. A huge save in the 90th minute to keep Max Meyer out. He's going to have to be on top form again against this attacking threat that Michael Obafemi possesses.
And let's not forget as well, Richard, Michael Obafemi has not conceded a goal yet. Didn't concede a single goal in that last game. Hasn't conceded yet as we approach the 30th minute mark in this one. I doubt that clean sheet will stand after it because of the goals that both these two have scored. But it's certainly a stat we need to keep an eye on. Scored 8 goals, hasn't conceded a single goal. Not sure if you heard, Richard, before the game started, Ian Atcho dropped James a text last night saying, pretty much thanked me for all my efforts out on the virtual pitch. He scored, what, 4 goals was it, in that 8-1 victory?
Yeah. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? Højbjerg inside the box. And that's Michael Obafemi shushing the camera to James Maddison. Wow, Michael Obafemi 2-0 up.
He's had more of the chances. Deserves to be up by 2 goals in this game. Ian Atcho just offside. Not the start the Foxes would have wanted on the road.
I saw the
Away at
possession,
St Mary's in this quarter-final.
In the possession, 60+% for James Maddison. He's having a lot of the ball, just in that final third, that the chance creation not been there. That header just glancing off the crossbar from a very tight angle.
Yeah, he came so close, didn't he? A glancing header at the back post. Michael Obafemi does lead by 2 goals to 0 here. If you have just joined us, day 4 of the EPL Invitational. And the Saints do lead by 2 goals to 0. Semi-final place in the competition does await them if they can pull through this game. There's still plenty of time left. We've seen fantastic comebacks already in this competition. Ian Atcho scored 4 goals, but at the moment the Saints defence just being able to keep track of him.
And I feel like we're seeing a more well-rounded Michael Obafemi here, Brandon, as well. In that first game against Tony Bellew, no disrespect to the former Cruiserweight champion, but you could tell he wasn't comfortable with FIFA. So it was sort of an onslaught from Obafemi, just attack after attack after attack. He's seen a much more well-rounded performance. Defensively, very, very good. Going forward, he's playing the right passes. He's playing the over-the-top through balls when he needs to. That's a little bit reckless at the back, and a chance for Maddison to get a goal before half-time here.
Added time of just 2 minutes to follow. Will be last chance of the half as well to Michael Obafemi. Will he get a chance to attack this? He has to get that ball forward. James Ward-Prowse will be intercepted. I think that will do us for half-time. Or will the referee let him play on Ian Atcho? This has to be a goal. It has to be a goal. He's turned, he's twisted. Vardy on the finesse. That was needed for the Foxes. And for a second, I thought he overplayed it.
Needed goal for Maddison just on half-time. The main man, Jamie Vardy, I thought he overplayed it, as you said, Brandon, but a fantastic tucked finesse from Vardy. 2-1 in at half-time. What a game we've got on our hands.
Oh, what a big goal that could be for you, James Maddison.
Yeah. I just didn't trust Kelechi Iheanacho on his right foot, you know.
I heard you saying you felt like Michael was getting quite lucky in that first half as well.
Yeah. A few little ricochets. A couple of tackles that I won that like, found its way back into his path and stuff. I've dominated the ball. He's just took his chances, to be fair.
Michael, there we go. We hear James say he's been dominating on the ball and you're getting a bit lucky. Do you agree with him?
Nope. That's what I'm saying.
You're very concentrated right now. Are you going to make any changes, or are you just going to see this game out with the same team?
Nah, same team right now.
He looks nervous to me.
Just before half time as well. Terrible.
The mind games are in full flow then. We'll let you start the second half. Back over to our casters, Brandon and Rich.
Thank you very much, Joe. And yeah, not too many words said between these two at half-time because we're in a quarter-final. Let's not forget that. There's huge implications on the line in this game. But one fact that I took away from that half, Richard, was that Leicester actually had more possession.
Yeah, 58% of the ball. Leicester did have. This could be a chance straight from the get-go. Jamie Vardy looking to dig it into Maddison at the back post. No! Off the bar.
Oh, it's a chance. There'll be another chance. Oh, just wide of that left-hand post. From himself, James Maddison, wearing the captain's armband. You can see it on the replay again.
What defending Jack Stevens.
Wow.
That were in.
Wow. Superb defending from Southampton. Another day, honestly, I think that one goes into left-hand corner. That cross. And he played his foot. As a red and white shirt. Nathan Redmond does go down to ground, but counter-attack does come to nothing. Ian Acho just not twisting and turning up against his man.
Don't know if you remember it, Brandon, but memory seems to sort of collect that James Maddison were 2-0 down against Tammy Abraham in the Football Staying Home Cup at half-time. He turned that game around and won 3-2. We know that he has got it in his locker to turn results around.
No, dead.
He's struggling. He's struggling at the moment. This press from Leicester has been relentless since this second half has got underway. Iacho must score a goal on his own. I know James said he didn't trust him, but in those kind of areas, you've got to trust the man.
This is all Leicester. The barrage is continuing. And Didi played it through to Jamie Vardy. Drag back, looking for a shot. Is it going to be a pass? Just overplaying it, Madders.
I'll tell you what. There's only one team that's going to go on to win this.
Michael, you must be feeling the pressure right now.
No, I'm alright.
Got Maddison dictating the game in there.
Oh, no.
Here comes Ian Acho.
Block it, yeah! He's never seen
Vardy, what can Vardy do? And there's Stevens in the way. Jack Stevens stands strong. It just comes off his body once again. He's been making block after block at the back for the Saints.
Heroic defending back there. But the OBE is going out if Obafemi was to go on and win this game with the defending that he's been seeing. Ian Acho inside the box, heavy touch. Been all one-way traffic since half-time towards the Saints' goal.
It's the first time that...
Wait. What's going on?
I've actually been able to get the ball with Southampton players in this opposing half of Leicester. Shot comes in. The man himself with the captain's armband on, looking to put this game away and put it to bed.
Wait.
The 2-goal advantage.
Wait, you can't laugh.
Nathan Redmond on the edge, twisting and turning. James Maddison to pick up the pieces, and Leicester will come again in numbers. We've got 25 minutes left of this game. Vardy. Options in support.
Yeah!
Goes for that drag
Come
back.
on!
James Maddison! James Maddison!
With the
Does
captain's
not miss from there.
Maddison, we've seen a comeback before when you're 2-0 down at half-time in another tournament. You're doing it again. What is it with you
Never
coming
in
from
doubt.
behind?
I can't get my own running right now.
In doubt.
Look, we just keep losing it.
There was no better feeling than that when that went into the back of the net. As you said, Richard,
There's no way.
Shane's been involved in a handful of other tournaments. England Home Cup. He scored. Chance. Vardy. Back to goal. Drag back off the drag back.
There's no
It's gonna
way.
be there for the Foxes.
Is Michael Obafemi about to crumble under this pressure that Maddison is putting on, or will he find a way out? We'll find out in the next 20 minutes of FIFA. But I tell you one thing for sure, since half-time, it has been all James Maddison and all Leicester City.
Honestly, I'm completely with you. Ian back to goal, twisting and turning. It's absolutely beautiful.
Get in there, Kelly.
He said he didn't trust him. I'm sure he's trusted him now because Ian Acho might have just booked a place for the Foxes in the semi-finals.
What a turnaround. After being 2-0 down, scoring on half-time, and then an absolute, in all honesty, beautiful performance since half-time. Pressing high up the pitch, winning the ball back in good areas. Entourage of blue shirts. Danny Ings. Oh, what a game we've got on our hands.
Yeah. This is only a taster of what's coming up today in day 4 of the EPL Invitational. We could be going to golden goal in our first quarter-final, Richard.
kick-off. Ings linking up with Obafemi. He's been fantastic in the Premier League this season thus far, has Danny Ings. He's doing it for Obafemi here in the ePremier League Invitational.
And you feel like, Richard, that goal might have just given Obafemi that extra 5-10% confidence that he's been looking for in this second half, because in all honesty, he has been dominated in this second half.
There's only one stat that matters. That's in the top left corner.
He's so
Goals win games.
What? It's going 4 yards wide.
Michael makes the save, but James not very happy about that one. All into the box now. Free header, still bouncing around. Stevens with the shot.
I'll tell you what, if Stevens was to score the winner after blocking everything that's come his way in this second half, man of the match performance going his way.
Peters, I need some quality defenders for you
There's
right
going to
now.
be one more chance, Richard. There's going to be one more big chance before we get into the nitty-gritty. Last few minutes, additional time. Vardy. Let's get dispossessed in the end. Chance for the Saints to come forward once again.
Why is he so fast?
Get there, kill it.
Got an overlap.
Rouse.
Kill it back in. Outstanding.
Oh, 30, man. Eliteness.
Tell you what, there's a reason why these two are in the final eight, Richard. What a display they've put on for us and everybody at home.
Played.
Daniel Ings.
Run, Jamie Vardy.
Tell you what, another day that deflects into the path of Michael Obafemi. It's a long ball forward. I'd say it's a massive ball forward. Jamie Vardy could be through it. He's very wide though on the pitch. What can he do? Try and that ball back inside. Jack Stevens back to defend.
Shattered.
You can see Perez knackered as well. No energy left. Remember, we will be going to golden goal. If there's not another goal in this game in normal time.
One more
Added
chance.
time of 3 minutes. That is enough, Richard, to get this ball back down the other end.
You always get one more chance. And it's going to fall to Leicester
It's
City.
impossible.
Iheanacho.
Oh, what?
Back to Maddison. Well defended. It's hoof long. I think that will do us.
Man, why is it so open?
Or is he going to play one more? Referee's playing on one more chance. Vardy. Still Jamie Vardy. And that will do us, Richard. Golden goal will be needed between Leicester City and Southampton. What a fantastic game this has been.
So there you have
What
it.
we gotta do now,
Without doubt, the most exciting game of the tournament so far. They can't be separated. James Maddison of Leicester 3, Michael Obafemi, Southampton 3. Joe, what a game we saw there. Not only did we see great goals and great action, but the celebration scenes. We saw the shush from Michael Obafemi. We saw Maddison saying only one person's going to win this. They're both trying to get in each other's heads, but they cannot be separated. We go to golden goal.
Yeah, best game of the tournament so far for me, Smithy. It's had it all, isn't it? It's had a great comeback from James Maddison. I thought, to be honest with you, in that second half, it was all one-way traffic. There was only going to be one winner, Maddison said, in the game, didn't he? And I think in my head, he was right at that moment. I thought Leicester were going to go on and win it, but to hit back like that shows a real sign of confidence for Michael Obafemi. He'll take loads from that. And I am buzzing for golden goal because everything's on the line right now. Jack Stevens has turned into Maldini for Michael Obafemi, Smithy.
Jack Stevens has been brilliant. And just a reminder that we haven't had golden goal in EPL Invitational 2 yet. We saw it 3 times in our first EPL Invitational, including in the final. So we do go to golden goal for the first time in this EPL Invitational. And Joe, something tells me that there's going to be just huge celebrations for whoever scores this goal.
Oh, 100%. It's just whether or not James can control it in and around the box. Michael's looking to play a little bit more on the break, isn't he, and use the pace of Michael Obafemi. This game is just so tense. Both players must have properly sweaty palms right now, Smith.
They must have sweaty palms indeed. Brilliantly entertaining. Let's hand back to our commentators. Full golden goal between Leicester and Southampton. Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Well, the stage is set. That's St Mary's first goal. We'll decide who moves on into the final 4 of
Jackman!
the EPL Invitational.
We saw
I love it.
the 90-minute masterclass performance from Jack Stevens. Now we're in golden goal. It looks like he's going to be continuing that performance.
Free kick played short. Ward-Prowse to pick that one up. Could be a chance. Played across goal. It's off the line. Still the chance. Up in the air, James Maddison. That drag back, but I think it's getting to a stage now where he's been using it so much, Richard. It's become slightly predictable.
Maddison himself. Oh, beautiful.
James Maddison. James Maddison! The Foxes snatch it in golden goal at St Mary's. And who else would it be? Michael Obafemi can't believe it. We can't believe it. And I'm sure Leicester can't as well, because they're going to be in the final four of the ePremier League Invitational.
Come on, man.
So there we have it. Leicester have scored. Leicester have won thanks to a golden goal. James Maddison scoring with his own in-game player. What a match we saw. Let's have a quick word with Michael Obafemi. Michael, I can see just how disappointed you are. Michael, talk to us. What a cruel way to lose.
Oh, mate. What is that? I've let myself down. Oh, mate, I can't even speak. I can't speak.
What did you make of the mind games? This is a battle of the mind games, Michael, wasn't it? Both of you very vocal. We saw you shush celebration. We saw Maddison saying only one team's going to win it. It was brilliantly entertaining for the viewers. What do you make of your opponent's mind games?
I mean, I wouldn't really say he was in my head, to be honest. I just crumbled. I just crumbled towards the end. That's what it is. Oh, mate, nah. I'm a very bad loser, as you can tell as well. So,
And of course, Michael, that was our first golden goal of the whole tournament. Just talk to us how the nerves are going into golden goal.
I mean, everyone's fresh, so you're thinking, yeah, everyone's like it's gonna be moving better. But Jack was moving like Maldini in the first game. Next thing you know, James Maddison just done a flipping back skill and
We've got to bring James Maddison in. James, what a game we witnessed. That was without doubt the game of the tournament. The first time we've seen golden goal. You found yourself behind, and then what a comeback. And then he came back, and then it went to golden goal. Talk to us about your nerves and how you're feeling now to come through that.
Well, Jose Mourinho won Premier League off the back of mind games, didn't he? So I think that was definitely a big thing. I thought I was living in his head rent free, to be honest. I could tell he got a bit nervous at the start of the golden goal game. He made a little pass which he hadn't made all game. Obviously, nerves get the better of people sometimes, and that's what pressure does, isn't it? So I'm happy to stay cool with myself and slot in the corner and progress to the semi-final. I can see his face on my screen.
Michael, I've got to bring you in there. He says that you felt the nerves. He said that he was living in your head rent-free. What would you like to say back to matters there?
I mean, all I got to say is it was a good game. And I would say I was probably the best player in the tournament. So I hope he goes on and wins it. That'll make me feel a bit better about myself.
Madders, you scored the winner with yourself as well. James Maddison on the score sheet. Vardy played well as well. Final message to your opponent. I can tell he's absolutely devastated. What would you like to say? Because it was a fantastic game we witnessed. Unfortunately, we've lost James Maddison, but congratulations to James because he does advance to our semi-finals. Here's our first semi-finalist. Big thanks to Michael as well. Brilliant entertainment and brilliant FIFA play as well. Michael, thank you very much for being part of this tournament.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Cheers, Michael. So there we go, Joe. Our first golden goal. Unfortunately, we did lose James at the end. I thought we'd lost Michael as well, but that wasn't a freeze frame of him with his head in his hands. He was just that gutted that he couldn't but show that emotion. What a cruel way to lose, Joe.
Yeah, what a cruel way to lose. I do think on the balance of the entire game, James Maddison probably deserved the victory. He was very dominant on the ball, wasn't he? And of course, came back and overturned that early 2-0 deficit. But you have to say, how entertaining were both of those players? Michael Obafemi, brilliant reactions every time he scored and conceded. James Maddison is clearly trying to play mind games with every single opponent. So I don't know whether it will be Charlie Taylor maybe that he features next. And Charlie Taylor, look at Michael Obafemi. He's absolutely raging still, Smithy. Absolutely raging. This is great to see, Smith.
I've got to say, Michael and James have been absolutely brilliant. The entertainment that they've shown us, you can see just what it means to these players. These are professional athletes that play at the top of their game. They don't want to lose in absolutely anything, let alone FIFA. And to be crowned the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League is a big accolade. But you're quite right, Joe. James Maddison, he said to Callum Wilson he's going to be the king of Coventry. He said to Max Meyer that it was only going to be one winner. He said there he was living in Michael's head rent-free. He's really winning the mind games. And it's showing because he's won every game he's played. And he looks a real competitor. And I wouldn't bet against James Maddison going all the way in this tournament.
Neither would I. So we do now have confirmation of that result. Leicester City progressed past Southampton after a 4-3 golden goal victory that saw James Maddison score the winner with his own character to send Michael Obafemi crashing out of the tournament. We can see the draw in full and what it means as well. Madders progresses to the semi-final. He'll face either Keinan Davis or Charlie Taylor. And we can expect James Maddison to try and get in both of their heads early doors. So keep your eyes peeled because there's going to be fireworks this afternoon. I guarantee it as well. And you can see that fixture coming up next. Burnley versus Aston Villa. Charlie Taylor, one of the competition's dark horses, versus star player Keinan Davis for a chance to face James Maddison in the semi-finals, Smithy.
Yeah, apparently James Maddison is already trying to get in his next opponent's head, and he doesn't even know who his next opponent is. That's how much he loves the mind games. But who will he face? We will find out in just 20 minutes. 4 o'clock, we are back for Burnley against Aston Villa. Just a quick reminder from us all here. Please stay home in an attempt to save lives. We'll be back very shortly for more FIFA action. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to the second ePremier League Invitational. I'm Adam Smith and I'm pleased to say I will be alongside Joe Tomlinson as well to find out who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League. We're at the quarter-final stage, about to go into Game 2. And Joe, if people are just joining us, they've missed the game of the tournament so far earlier on today.
Yeah, unbelievable matchup. We'll talk about that in just a second and show you the goals as well. But a quick reminder, of course, for everybody watching this, please do stay home and help save lives. And that the prize fund from this ePL Invitational is being donated to the Players Together initiative. Right, let's have a look at the game you're about to see first and foremost, because it's going to be a good one. It's Burnley against Aston Villa. Dark horse for the competition, Charlie Taylor, coming up against Keinan Davis, who breezed past Jose Enrique in his first round. We can see the draw in full here. Like I said, Keinan Davis hammered Jose Enrique 6-1. Charlie Taylor, slightly more difficult route to this stage, beating Phil Foden 4-3. But for either of these sides, they will have to face up against James Maddison and Leicester in the semi-finals. So I cannot wait for this game, Smithy. Just explain the rules though.
Yeah, these are the all-important rules you need to be aware of. The EPL Invitational is a straight knockout tournament. You lose one game and you are out. It is as simple as that. Every round consists of just one game. Every Premier League club is represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-pro or a celebrity fan. But we have no more ex-pros or celebrity fans left in the tournament. Now onto the all-important in-game rules. 2 6-minute halves. In the event of a draw, golden goal will be used to determine the winner, just like we saw in our last game. James Maddison scoring with James Maddison to come through that one. And importantly, 85 rated Premier League League squads in kickoff mode to establish who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player.
Yes, Smithy. I mean, let's have a look at that game you were talking about, the golden goal thriller between James Maddison and Michael Obafemi. Michael Obafemi actually went 2-0 in front after James Maddison pre-game had said, you better watch yourself. We don't want a repeat of the 9-0 scoreline that happened in real life. And look at the scenes from Michael Obafemi shushing James Maddison early doors, but then it was all Leicester. Maddison's got the first back on the stroke of half-time, and in the second half, totally dominated. Got the game back level through Jamie Vardy. Or Kelechi Iheanacho turned and scored in the 70th minute to put him in front. It wasn't over there, though. Michael Obafemi went out the other end and smashed home just 3 minutes later, taking us to golden goal, in which James Maddison produced with James Maddison, leaving Michael Obafemi to hold his head in his hands. He was absolutely raging, Smithy.
I think that's an understatement, Joe Ragin. He was devastated. He walked off from his sofa, he had his head in his hands. We saw him shush James Maddison earlier. James Maddison said that he was living in his head rent-free. The battle, the war of the words was just absolutely brilliant. But I think on the balance of play, James Maddison, worthy winner. And of course, Joe, he is the first player confirmed to join us for finals day tomorrow, which is, of course, the 2 semis and then the final.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game between Maddison and either Charlie Taylor or Keinan Davis. I know the commentary team were talking Keinan Davis as a potential favourite for the tournament, weren't they? So I'm really excited to see what he'll do against Maddison if he progresses. But there's a big game first and foremost. He's got to get past Charlie Taylor, and we know how good Charlie Taylor has been over the last few days, Smithy.
Yeah, and speaking of Charlie Taylor, very pleased to say that he joins us now. Representing Burnley, of course, Charlie, there you are, looking very relaxed as the tournament. Before we talk about this, let's just assess your tournament so far. You've played 2 games, of course, because you had to come through the round 1 qualifier. Won both games narrowly by just 1 goal.
Yeah, I've had 2 tough games, and I think I was the underdog in both, but I've got through it, and yeah, we're getting to the business end of the tournament now.
We are getting to the business end. What would it mean for you to make the semi-final? Because you have the rare opportunity to be the only club that can make it through to the last day on 2 occasions. So the 4 semi-finalists in EPL Invitational 1 was Man City, was Liverpool, was Wolves and Burnley. And it's only Burnley left in this tournament. So for all the Burnley fans watching, a very exciting time. What would it mean to you to get to the semi-final and to our final day tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously it's been good fun. I've really enjoyed it. Dwight did well last tournament, so yeah, I've got a bit of pressure on myself to try and get to the semis like he did.
Now, we saw a very animated 2 players in our game today, up off the sofa, shushing, talking about living in players' head rent-free. Are you going to be similar today? Are we going to see you celebrating if you score? And do you have a message to your opponent going into it?
No, I'll probably stay quite chilled out. But yeah, just good luck and just hope for a good game.
Okay, there we go. The thoughts of Charlie Taylor. Joe, he's been so relaxed throughout this whole tournament. He looks very chilled going into the quarterfinal as well.
Yes, very chilled indeed. And we can speak to his opponent, Keinan Davis. Now, Keinan, you had an amazing result in the first round. Absolutely hammered Jose Enrique. Are you going to be dishing out similar punishment here?
Hopefully. That's the plan. Just try to do the same.
You also scored 5 goals with midfielders in the last game, a hat-trick from John McGinn. Is that a style move? Do you like to get your midfielders involved going forward?
Yeah, because I got myself up front. So just hold up the ball and then feed the other players. That's the game plan, really.
Yeah, of course, you scored with yourself as well in that first game. Are we going to expect to see you scoring in this game too? Are you backing yourself all the way?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try.
There we go then, Smithy. Can't wait for this one. Really, really looking forward to it.
Yes, those are the thoughts of Charlie and Keinan going into our second quarter-final matchups. Let's bring in our casters who've been with us all week, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Now, Brandon, we saw 2 very animated players last time. I think something tells me these 2 are a little bit more chilled out, a little bit more focused. I don't think we're going to get the war of words we saw last time, but still a thoroughly entertaining quarter-final on the cards.
To be honest, I think Charlie Taylor's played this really smart as well. He's not bigged himself up once throughout this tournament. And what we've seen, and Richard will allude to a little bit more, is he's been really consistent with his performances. He's defended well. When he goes forward, he scores goals. He's kind of like an all-round FIFA player. Like, he's good defending, he's good with possession, he's good at going forward and scoring goals. So I think he's certainly an underdog that not many people have talked about. And if you remember in the last ePL Invitational, Burnley made a semi-final. So Burnley on the sticks aren't actually too... On the other side of that, Keinan Davis, he scored with himself against Jose Enrique, a player that's got quite a calibre, you should say, when it comes to playing FIFA. He had trophies next to him. That didn't matter for Davies, and he picked up the win against him. So I'm really excited to see which way this game's going to go.
Yeah, Richard, as I mentioned earlier, Burnley have the opportunity to be the only team to make it through to finals day twice. How do you see this particular game going, though? Who do you put as favourite? Because, as we saw earlier, Charlie knocked out Phil Foden, who's a very competitive FIFA player. But then on the other side of it, Keinan Davis beating Jose Enrique, who'd won previous FIFA events 6-1. So who do you see as favourite for this one?
I think just with how Keinan Davis played, I'd slightly edge Keinan Davis, but we've got another battle as well. It's the battle of the big men. Keinan Davis seems to be up top, 6'3". Chris Wood for Charlie Taylor. We've got 2 big boy strikers up top.
We have indeed, and we are underway. It is Burnley against Aston Villa for our next quarter final. Let's head over to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
This is the Burnley lineup. In goal today, Nick Pope. Charlie Taylor plays with Matthew Lowton as the wide defenders.
Sorry, we do have a few technical difficulties. So what we're going to do, because we believe that you are hearing the in-game commentary, we will pause that and restart the game. So that will be taking place very short. So please do bear with us. Obviously, everyone is doing this remotely from our living rooms, from the comfort and safety of our living rooms. And we encourage you all to do so, to please stay at home in an attempt to save lives. So, Joe, a few technical difficulties, but we believe we'll be underway very soon. So I was just asking Richard there as who he sees as favourite, because both players have done very well going up to this point. Who do you see as a favourite for this one?
Round, haven't we, so far? And maybe that's unfair. So maybe now this is the stage where we should start to make Charlie Taylor favourite for me, because the defeat of Phil Foden is no mean feat. Phil Foden was talking about winning 25 weekend league games, and Charlie Taylor still scored 4 goals past him. So I think, about time now that we get Charlie Taylor out in front as a favourite in a game, because he can't be underdog every single match.
No, and of course, whoever wins this, Joe, has a very tough game. We saw James Maddison scoring goals for fun. James Maddison, incidentally, is the highest scorer in this competition. Yes, he has conceded goals, but he's very good going forward. Likes to score with his own in-game character as well. So a very tough semi-final for whoever comes through this.
100%. And, you know, they're two very different styles of FIFA. I think James Maddison around the edge of the box, we know how much he loves a drag back. I haven't really seen that from either of these two players so far. Charlie Taylor, a little bit more direct. We talked about him in commentary and we talked about him in punditry, saying that, you know, he plays a little bit like Burnley, quite conservative at the back, very, very solid, and then looking to use the big men. Chris Wood has been an absolute bully. Richard was talking about him there pre-game, saying how effective he is in 85 rated mode. And I'm looking forward to see his link-up play with Jay Rodriguez yet again.
Yeah, let's just elaborate on that, Joe. It's a good point. We saw Chris Wood used to great effect by Dwight McNeil when he got to the semi-final in EPL Invitational 1. Chris Wood being used to great effect, again, because of the 85 mode. As I said, again, once again, Chris Wood has been a very effective in-game player for both Dwight McNeil and for Charlie Taylor.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, 85 rated mode brings everybody across the board to the same level, doesn't it? So it gives Chris Wood 91 pace, which makes him extremely, extremely effective against any defender. And Burnley are stacked with big men, even in the midfield. You look at Jack Cork, you know, he's a large character. And when you even the board out statistically, physicality often plays a big role. And at the back, even more so, Ben Mee, a massive guy alongside the likes of James Tarkowski, makes it really hard to break him down. Richard yesterday called him the Great Wall of Me in commentary. And I totally agree. He's been impenetrable so far, Smithy.
Yeah, I don't know if he was referring to himself, the Great Wall of Me, or Ben Mee. I need to clear that up with Richard Buckley, but I believe we are almost moments away. As I say, this is day 4. All games today are the quarter-final games, and this is game 2. So we know that James Maddison has won our first quarter-final, so James Maddison is the first player to advance to our finals day tomorrow, which will consist of 2 semi-finals and a final, and the winner of this match will play James Maddison. Just waiting for the game to commence, Joe. So while we do, let's look ahead at the other games that we've got coming our way today, because 2 other very big quarterfinals, and the other side of the draw is quite tough to call, isn't it? I think Max Aarons had a great performance yesterday, so he looks like a really tough player to beat on the other side of the draw.
Yeah, Max Aarons is definitely going to be a contender for this. We were talking about Max Aarons being a contender before the tournament even started, and my mind hasn't been changed after that 4-1 demolition of Ryan Sessegnon, who knocked the favourite out himself. But Emerson showed something, I thought, against Andre Gray. He showed a really interesting, quite unique style of play that involved lots of skills. No other player in the tournament has played like that so far. And then let's not write out the 2 Irish contenders either. You know, John Egan was scoring goals for fun against Jofra Archer. And of course, Brighton, are represented by Aaron Connolly, knocked out the reigning champions Wolves. So the other side of the draw features some brilliant FIFA players. And this side of the match, none more so than the game we're about to witness, I'm buzzing as well, Smiths.
Yeah, I'm buzzing, you're buzzing, and I'm pleased to say that we are almost ready to go. Yes, we are. Burnley against Aston Villa, our second quarter-final on day 4 of the EPL Invitational. Let's hand you back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Adam and Joan. Yeah, we're underway for our second quarter-final of the day, day number 4 of the EPL Invitational. Whoever wins this will book a semi-final date up against Leicester City and James Maddison, Richard. And I think everyone that's been watching this tournament throughout will be praying that we get a quarter-final like we just had.
Oh, absolutely, Brandon. I'm very intrigued because both of these 2 players not really involved with the mental sort of warfare. Will James Maddison be able to break either of these 2 down? Will he be able to get into their head? Because the 2 previous opponents that he's had, both in Southampton and Bournemouth, he's probably edged that battle. So that's another captivating area of the semi-finals coming up. But we need to find who will be meeting James Maddison in that semi-final. Will it be Villa or will it be Burnley?
We mentioned him a number of times, Richard. The Great Wall of Me is still there at the back and involved in defending once again. That could have been a chance for Aston Villa. Still is going to be in possession for Aston Villa now. Build-up play, John McGinn, who scored a hat-trick, believe it or not. In the last game out we saw against Jose Enrique. Keinan Davies actually got on the score sheet himself in that game. Remember, we are playing, as we said, 85 rated mode, so whether you're a 64 rated item on FIFA Ultimate Team or on usual kickoff mode, in this mode, everyone is 85 rated. So you can really start to create some of those incredible stories like we saw with Michael Obafemi when he used his own player in the game. We saw James Maddison score a golden goal winner just half an hour ago.
An early shake of the head there from Charlie Taylor.
Me again.
He's under pressure.
There he is!
Come on.
From Keinan Davis. Picking up where he left off against Jose Enrique. Keinan, have you been playing much FIFA in between your games?
Nah, I've been taking a break.
What's it like playing with yourself as well in FIFA? Because technically this is the best version of yourself that you've ever used.
Yeah, it's much different.
Charlie Taylor, quite a unrecognisable position, Brandon. Trailing in a game.
When you look at his results, Richard, he's taken out some huge names in this tournament. Beating Arsenal in round 1, which he had to play to get into the round of 6. I'm not too sure what's happening at the back there. Get rid of it. Keeper, get back in your goal as well. And then he went and beat Manchester City 4-3. So he had a 2-1 win and a 4-3 win. We're not seeing anything different in terms of Charlie Taylor conceding goals. He does concede goals, and he hasn't had massive scorelines. It's just a case of he wins by a goal or so. So I wouldn't write him off just as of yet. Here comes Trezeguet now. Chance for Villa to get a second. It's across the box. And Jack Grealish has just made this 2-0.
And this is the first time in the EPL Invitational that Charlie Taylor has been trailing. See a smile on his face. Has to show something different here in the first 20 minutes. It just looks a bit too rudimental potentially for Villa and Keinan Davis. I said in his first game against Jose Enrique, Keinan Davis, up to what we'd seen, Brandon, the most well-rounded FIFA player in terms of knowing the game, knowing the basics, fundamental FIFA that we have seen.
Went out and said, he's a player we should be watching out for in this tournament. Definitely a player that could even go the full way. And whoever wins this goes into the semi-final. Chance for another one. Wow, it could have been if he was just onside there with his own player. Keinan Davies leading by 2-0. 24 minutes gone in this game. And Villa back with possession. Charlie Taylor really struggling at the moment.
Struggling to build up as he did in his previous games as well. The possession that he was holding, building through the thirds. That's sort of been eradicated in this first 25 minutes. It's been Keinan Davis just bossing the game.
Oh, what a goal.
This could be 3. This could be 3. It will be.
What a goal.
Keinan Davis stealing the words out of my mouth. What a goal. Incredible stuff. Jack Grealish with the first half brace. Charlie Taylor. Charlie, what's gone wrong? He's been able to really get going in this game, and it's the press that Villa are showing.
It's the exact same press that he showed against Liverpool when he beat him 6-1. That was Jose Enrique. 3-0 inside 30 minutes. Keinan Davis, we're about to say it, he's the man to beat.
Really struggling with that pass from defence to midfield at the moment. That's where a lot of possession has been lost. Chance to break now for Burnley. Remember, last time out, they made a semi-final. Dwight McNeil had a fantastic running in the first ever EPL Invitational. This time around, they are back in a quarter-final, but unfortunately they're 3 goals down. The third of this game already played. Massive switch of play. Nistu, lovely little Ronaldo chop round the corner. Chance for another one for Villa. Cuts back inside. It's John McGinn scoring goals. And Keinan Davis,
again.
4-0 up. Does John normally score this many goals from FIFA? I swear he normally doesn't.
Keinan Davis. What's he like playing with John McGinn in real life, Keinan?
Oh, he's a great player. Very good left foot as well.
Are you happy this time that you've been able to kind of take the role? Because John didn't have really a tournament to remember last time out, did he?
Yeah, exactly. He was the wrong man for the job.
I know you've spoke a lot about him, Richard, but have they found the right man for the job now in Keinan Davis? 4-0 in a quarter-final.
I mean, just look at the way he's playing. Keeping the ball in the midfield, building up in possession. McGinn driving towards him. That would have been an unbelievable goal, keeping possession and then releasing that thunder bolt from John McGinn's left boot. But he just looks very well-rounded in all of the areas of the pitch. Defence, he knows how to jockey, he knows how to sort of hold players up. Midfield, not rushing, keeping the ball, moving left to right. In the attacking third, dragbacks, he's looking for the cutback every time. The most effective way of scoring in FIFA. Lovely play from Jack Grealish, looking for that finesse shot, but it just looks like the complete package.
You also cast your mind back as well, Richard, to that round of 16 game where Aston Villa did knock out Liverpool. Jose Enrique representing Liverpool in that game. What did he do, Richard? He scored all his goals in the first half, really. He took the lead early on, built his goals into it in the second half. I think he was just trying to score with himself, of all honesty. And that will do us for half time. I'll tell you what, Aston Villa, we might as well put them in the semi-finals right now.
Dominant.
There we go. It is 4-0 at the halfway mark. Commentator Brandon Smith saying we might as well put them in the semi-final now. It's been that one-sided. Keinan, you must be delighted with that first half performance.
Yeah, it's a great first half. Could not say anything more.
And of course, you scored with yourself again. You're getting a lot of joy with your own in-game player.
Yeah, I am. He's been playing well.
Let's speak to Charlie. Charlie, you've had a good run. Obviously, this game's still going on. 4-0 down. There a lot to do in this second half. What went wrong in that first half, mate?
Just about everything. I don't even want to look at them stats. Yeah, it's just shocking from the first minute. It's getting a bit embarrassing now. I just probably got to try and keep it below 5.
I was going to ask you that. You're probably trying to keep it below 5. It's probably preempted the next question. We saw a little bit of a comeback in our first game. Are we about to witness one of the greatest comebacks of the tournament? Can you pull this around?
Probably got to get a shot on target first, to be honest.
There we go. Very modest from Charlie Taylor. I've probably got to get a shot on target in order to get back into the game. It is 4-0. Second half's underway. Let's head back to our casters, Brandon and Rich.
Yeah, well, I think he hit the nail on the head there, Richard. He needs to get a few more shots on target if he wants to get himself back into this game, into the second half now. Aston Villa 4-0 up in this quarter-final.
I saw a glimpse of the stats at half-time. I think it were 10 shots, 7 on target for Keinan Davis. For Burnley, I don't know if Charlie registered a shot. Goodmanson playing through Chris Wood. This could be the start of the comeback. Charlie gets a goal. 4-1.
I'll tell you what, Richard, it was a goal that Burnley needed. Who was it? You hyped him up before the game. Chris Wood, he's been involved in literally everything for the Clarets in the EPL Invitational. Perfect way to start this second half.
I also saw in that bottom right corner, team press implemented on by Charlie Taylor. Players going to be flooding forward now in the Claret. McNeil wins it back. Another chance potentially here. Chris Wood going through. Just overhit. Pepe Reina comes out and collects.
Yeah, slightly heavy on that pass. If that did go through, I'll tell you what, Richard, what a game we'd have on our hands. Best thing that Keinan Davis can do is just score a goal, put this game to bed. You'll be back in front by 4-0. Of course, the score would be 5-1. Here's that chance. Is that the goal? Save needed by Nick Pope. Matthew Target with that one into the box, headed away by Lowton.
Chance here, potentially. Charlie Taylor himself.
He's making that run still on the left bottom corner of your screen, but Burnley will come forward. You look for that whip across. Maybe the wrong option, went for the pass around the corner instead.
Yeah, he didn't really have many options, to be honest. Goodmanson out wide there. He could have cut back, but it was getting a little bit crowded inside the box. He waiting for that pass across. Reina doing very well just to smother it. But a much better second half performance here from Charlie Taylor.
He's been able to create a lot more, which is what he needs after conceding 4 goals. Once again, we're seeing the same sort of situation here against Liverpool when Aston Villa played them earlier on in the tournament in the round of 16. We saw Keinan Davis score all his goals really in the first half and show that dominance. Second half here, Charlie Taylor has had a few chances. This would be game over if it goes in. And honestly, I think that's done now, Richard, in my opinion. 25 minutes left in it. At the back post. A Villa player was there, and a Villa player will get on the score sheet again. Trezeguet with the goal. I think it will be a semi-final of Leicester against Aston Villa.
Yeah, coming in the back post, Trezeguet, always going to be favourite there. Beautiful cross from Keinan Davies. He almost takes his foot off the gas a little bit. He knows that the game, in his own head, he's pretty much done. It's wrapped up at half-time and gives his opponent a little bit of false hope. But Charlie Taylor has had an incredible run in this tournament, Brandon. Came as pretty much an unknown quantity. We didn't really know what to expect from his FIFA ability, but been very impressed what he has produced.
I mean, if you look at the results he's had as well, Rich, just to come through the round one, which is never going to be easy. Trezeguet looking to make it 6 if he can get round the corner. Ball to the back post, and who else is going to score than himself? He set himself up for a hat-trick. That's Keinan Davies.
Oh, it's getting embarrassing now.
Charlie, just a quick one. How good is Keinan Davies?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Cheers.
You can't get anywhere near him.
He's been really impressive. Every single attack, he looks like he is going to score. Which for some players isn't always the case. As we said, semi-final will be in writing. That will be taking place tomorrow, and that will see Leicester's James Maddison, who won in golden goal against Southampton, up against Aston Villa's Keinan Davies.
Yeah, Maddison grab his hands cut out for him. It's going to be a very, very tough game versus Keinan Davies. Could be looking at the eventual winner here, Brandon. I'm going to put it out there. Could be looking at the winner.
I know you've always been a favourite of what Keinan has showed throughout the tournament so far. If he does win this game by 6 goals to 1, it'll be the exact same result that he got in the round of 16 against Jose Enrique of Liverpool. Unless he wants to add another one to the list. Davies was in there. Just couldn't get his foot around the ball. McGinn back to Trezeguet into the final 10 minutes now. Unfortunately, we'll be saying goodbye to Burnley. They will fall slightly early in the competition after making the semi-final last time. There's another chance. There's another goal. Everything it seems that any Aston Villa touches in that final third turned into gold. It's another goal. It's 7 in total.
Low driven as well at the near post from El Ghazi from Keinan Davies. Just when I was talking earlier about the real completionist of the sort of FIFA manual, you've got to say, having the drag backs, having the different shot types that you can do in certain areas, the driven pass, all these things Keinan Davies is showing and more, Brandon. Nobody else has shown that level of sort of expertise in the tournament.
Is it really dangerous? Scoring an incredible amount of goals. In total, 13 in the tournament. That's only from round of 16 and this quarter-final. Didn't go in the round 1. But we'll be adding Burnley to the list of teams that he has knocked out in this tournament. A semi-final awaits him of Leicester City and James Maddison. That is going to be a game full of goals. Oh, Burnley. Oh, Burnley. Oh, Charlie.
Charlie Taylor conceded 4 goals in his previous 2 matches. He's conceded 7 in one game here through the hands of Keinan Davies. He said 8. It is 8.
Off the record here.
I want 9.
You are actually matching up the score that we saw in the round 1 game between Bournemouth and Leicester. That was an 8-1 scoreline. He was to get one more. Be the most goals scored in a game that we've seen for one single team. And there goes the full-time whistle. Congratulations, Keinan Davies. You will be in the semi-finals. Unfortunately, Charlie Taylor, head in hands. It hasn't been a quarter-final performance to remember.
So Keinan, 6 goals in your first game, 8 goals in your second game. How many are we going to see in your next game?
Hopefully 9. Trying to progress each game.
Charlie, that was a very tough game, wasn't it? Keenan's a really good opponent.
Yeah, very good. Surely he's got to go on and win it from what I've seen today. But yeah, I'm going to be conceding 8 goals there. That's just, well, it was embarrassing at half time, but it's just got even worse.
So where do you think the match was won and lost? Do you think you just didn't turn up yourself, or was Keinan that good?
I just think Keinan was that good. Like, I can't compete with that. That's that's just the standard's far too good for me there. I'm happy just to make the quarterfinals, to be honest.
And Keinan, how enjoyable has it been playing in this tournament? What does it mean to the Villa fans?
Yeah, it's good. It's a bit of fun as well, and it's good for a good cause. So yeah, it's just all round good.
And obviously you're going to be facing James Maddison in the semi-finals. So how much are you looking forward to finals day?
Yeah, very excited. I saw his game earlier. He was a good player. So it should be a good game.
Now, James Maddison's known for his mind games. Are you going to let him get in your mind? Are you going to be doing any mental preparation to try and stop that happening?
No, I'm just going to focus on myself, focus on the game. Hopefully get a win.
There we go then. Congratulations to Keinan Davis. Commiserations to Charlie Taylor. Thank you very much to both the players for joining us today.
Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, Joe, what a game that was. I think we spoke earlier, all 4 of us, myself, you, Brandon and Richard, we were trying to work out who was the favourite there and sort of making out it's going to be quite a close game due to the fact that Charlie had come through 2 tough opponents, including Phil Foden. But 8-1, I don't think any of us saw that coming. Keinan Davis scoring goals for fun in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually pre-game I said Charlie Taylor might be favourite. What was I talking about? Absolutely clueless. That was one of the most complete displays we've seen this tournament for sure. And James Maddison versus Keinan Davis is now going to be a blockbuster, isn't it? Both of those players score goals for fun. We've seen James Maddison put 8 goals in the net. Now we've seen Keinan Davis put 8 goals in the net. I do not know how we're going to separate them. Either way, we have confirmation of the fact that Aston Villa progressed to the semi-finals with an 8-1 victory over Charlie Taylor of Burnley. What a performance. And here's what it means for the draw in full. As I just said, Aston Villa progressed to the semi-finals. They'll face off against James Maddison. We've still got 2 more quarter-final matchups coming your way, though. Norwich, Chelsea, and Sheffield United, Brighton. Next up, we're going to see that big game, Sheffield United versus Brighton. It's going to be John Egan versus his Ireland teammate, Aaron Connolly.
Yeah, very much looking forward to this. 2 Republic of Ireland teammates, John Egan and Aaron Connolly. And I think this one might get a bit spicy as well. I think they're going to have words with each other, try and get in each other's heads. But that is our next quarter-final coming your way at 5 o'clock. So just a final reminder from us to you all to please stay at home in an attempt to save lives. We'll see you very soon for our next quarter-final. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to the second ePremier League Invitational. I'm Adam Smith, and as always, I'll be joined by Joe Tomlinson as we look to find out who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League. We're on day 4, and we've got 2 more quarterfinals to bring you. And Joe, we've seen the closest game of the tournament so far and the most one-sided game of the tournament all in today's action. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, 16 goals in 2 games. You couldn't ask for more, could you? A quick reminder, though, for everybody watching before we come on to today's fixtures, please do stay home and save lives. Of course, the prize fund from this ePL Invitational is being donated to the Players Together initiative as well. So that is great to see. Right, let's have a look at this game then. Sheffield United versus Brighton, the battle of 2 international teammates. John Egan versus Aaron Connolly. I cannot wait for this one to get underway. Let's have a look at the draw in full. We're about to see the left-hand side play each other. So Sheffield United, Brighton. Then after that, you'll be able to see Norwich against Chelsea. Of course, we've already seen Leicester progress as James Maddison beats Michael Obafemi. We'll be able to show you the goals from that in just a moment. But before we get into that, Smithy, do you want to just take them through the rules?
Yeah, these are, of course, the all-important rules that you need to be aware of for the EPL Invitational. It is a straight knockout tournament. There is only 1 game per round, and every single Premier League club has been represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-pro or a celebrity fan. But all of our ex-pros and celebrity fans are out. We are down to just the Premier League players. Now on to the all-important in-game rules. Every match will consist of 2 6-minute halves. In the event of a draw, golden goal will be used to determine the winner. We saw golden goal used earlier for James Maddison defeating Michael Obafemi. Leicester needing a golden goal to beat Southampton, and 85 rated Premier League squads in kick-off mode to establish who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player.
Yeah, we've seen some brilliant FIFA played already today, and we can have a look at some of the goals now as well. Now, yesterday, we saw Max Aarons versus Ryan Sessegnon. This is a recap, of course, of the round of 16 first. Max Aarons came into this one as one of the favourites for the tournament and really showed his pedigree, didn't he? He beat Ryan Sessegnon 4-1 and was 3-0 up before half-time. Pookie got the second goal with that square. It wasn't great, but it was effective. Abel Hernandez also got a third goal for him too. Ryan Sessegnon, though, backed himself at half-time and he started a comeback. Look at the fist-pumping celebration about when he brought the game back. But the fourth went in from Max Aarons. That finished the tie. Ryan Sessegnon basically walked out the room. He was absolutely raging. Then we saw Charlie Taylor, who earlier got knocked out. He went through against Phil Foden. Very, very accomplished performance this was, because Phil Foden was billed as one of the best players in the tournament, but could do nothing to stop the onslaught that was coming from Burnley. Charlie Taylor really using the physicality of the Clarets to his advantage. Foden got back into the game, though, through Sergio Aguero, but from then on in, it was really the Charlie Taylor show as he scored a second with Jack Cork. He was saying that Jack Cork doesn't score many goals, but he got a brace in that one before Jay Rodriguez put the game beyond any doubt with that curler into the top corner. Sergio Aguero got a late goal to sort of get one back, but it was too late. Charlie Taylor making it look very, very easy, Smithy.
Yeah, so of course that was yesterday's action. And Joe, just a reminder of today's so far. We've had 2 quite unbelievable games. Leicester needing a golden goal. So thinking this is the theme. This is the theme of the quarterfinal. It's going to be a tight game. And then the next game was 8-1.
Yeah, unbelievable, wasn't it? That was one of the best performances we've seen in the whole tournament from Keinan Davis. Charlie Taylor looked so accomplished in his first game. We saw the highlights there, playing against Phil Foden as well. How good he looked, knocking out one of the best players in the tournament. But Keinan Davis made mincemeat of him. It was an incredible performance. 8 goals. You can't ask for better entertainment than that.
No, you can't. I'm pleased to say that we can speak to our players going into our next quarterfinal. First up, let's chat to John Egan of Sheffield United. There he is, rubbing his hands, sitting back in the sofa, looking very relaxed. John, how are you feeling going into this one, mate?
I know Aaron well, so it's going to be a good bit of crack, and we'll see. Hopefully, I can get the win.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Of course, Republic of Ireland teammate, close friend, Aaron Connolly. Have you been speaking to him? Is there much banter going around? What's been said between you two?
We've just been on the headset there for a while. No, we're just pretty chilled out about it, really. No, just looking forward to having a game of FIFA now. There he is. But yeah,
he can hear.
Forward to it. Cork v Galway.
He can hear you, John. Go on. Who's the better FIFA player then? Give us an insight.
I'd have to say I'm definitely the underdog. Definitely
the underdog. Okay, very honest of you. Yeah. Final message for your teammate, for your friend and your opponent today. What would you like to say to him before we start?
All the best, bud. And you're wearing red for Sheffield United. I like it.
I like it. They're both wearing red for Sheffield United, Joe, apparently, according to John.
There we go then, Aaron. You heard him say you're wearing red for Sheffield United. How are you feeling ahead of this one today? Feeling confident?
Yeah, feeling confident. Yeah, I mean, I've been speaking to John a bit about the game and he's not playing himself up too much. So, yeah, it's a little bit of confidence for me. But, yeah, hopefully I can get the win.
Have you ever played John before when you're out on international camp or anything like that? Have you got any insight into how he plays?
No, I've seen his game against Joffrey Archer. I've seen Didsey got a hat-trick. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and not give him much space in this one or anything like that.
And obviously, an EPL Invitational one, Neil Maupay used Glenn Murray to great effect. We saw you using Glenn Murray to great effect. How many goals is Glenn Murray going to score against John Egan today?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but there's always a goal in there for Glenn Murray in there, especially when he's playing against John Egan, the centre-half. So, yeah, we'll wait and see.
There we go then. Can't wait to get this one underway, Smithy.
Yeah, love that. You can tell they've got a great relationship, get on well, but only one will be advancing to the semi-final. Let's bring in the thoughts of our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Great to hear the thoughts of the players there. Neil Maupay said Glenn Murray is the GOAT, mate, on this mode, on EPL Invitational 1, Brandon. And you heard the thoughts there of Aaron Connolly saying he will score, particularly if John Egan's playing in defence. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, this game mode is so special, as we said, 85 rated head-to-head, because Glenn Murray's the fastest he's ever been. He's got 91 pace in the game. That's why he's so good. And you saw Aaron Connolly as well, captain himself last time out against Wolves. Remember that Brighton did beat Wolves last time, winners of the EPL Invitational. So it's a massive scout they've already taken in this tournament. Aaron Connolly scored with himself in that game. But John Egan, I think he played himself down against Joffrey Archer. That was a really, really good game from John Egan, and did well with Sheffield United. Scored a handful of goals, whether it was McGoldrick scoring them or Mousset, who actually represented the Blades last time out. So this should be a really good game, and you can already see a bit of banter between the two of them, which is great.
Yeah, it's great to see that. Richard, let's bring you in. John Egan talking himself down a bit there, but he did come through Joffrey Archer 4-3, an epic game in the previous round. So he's a decent player as well. This is going to be a close game.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players had very different quarterfinals, Smithy. You had Aaron Connolly, who started strong, he started quick, and he dispatched of Wolverhampton Wanderers. On the other side, John Egan had to almost battle away against Joffrey Archer at Old Trafford. We're here for our quarterfinal. Who's going to be the third player in the semis? Will it be John Egan of Sheffield United, or will it be Aaron Connolly of Brighton and Hove Albion?
Yeah, of course. Playing for two different clubs in the Premier League, but international teammates with the Republic of Ireland. John Egan up against Aaron Connolly to kick off our third quarter-final of day 4 of the EPL Invitational. Last time out in our first EPL Invitational, this is where both teams actually fell at this stage. It was obviously Mousset of Sheffield United. It went out against Wolves at this period, 5-2. Remember, Diogo Jota won that tournament last time out. And then Neil Maupay fell to the hands of Dwight McNeil of Burnley. So this is a really good opportunity, Richard, because one of these two teams will be going to the semi-final.
Absolutely, yeah. Just early indications here. It looks like very confident is Aaron Connolly. You saw how we were playing out with the back with the goalkeeper, bringing Matty Ryan almost into the centre of defence when he was passing it out from the back. He's got an overload there on the left-hand side as well if he does decide to use it.
Here is Aaron Connolly himself. To get something together. Trossard now to Davy Proper. It'll be Aaron Moy and Davy Proper linking up together. Glenn Murray has been full of goals throughout the EPL Invitational. Aaron Connolly for a finesse. That one just over the bar. No deflection on the way through. That will go out for a goal kick to Dean Henderson, who I have to say has been one of the best shot stoppers we've seen this year in the Premier League.
I think Aaron left his shooting boots at home with that first try. Going into probably Raw J of Bramall Lane. Looking for the finesse on the edge of the box. I think this could be a very tight game, Brandon. The last time that we saw a quarter-final be sort of completed, 8-1, the scoreline. I don't feel like we're going to get a game like that whatsoever here. I feel like we're going to get a very tight game. Both players, to me, a little bit nervous almost as well in the early stages.
It might be like the match last time these two teams matched up in the Premier League. It was a 1-1 draw at Bramall Lane. Obviously Brighton the away team on that time. And the game did finish 1-1. Tightly contested affair. It was Malpay that got the goal for the Seagulls on that time round. Who's going to get the first goal in this one? Third quarter-final of the day. Chance to get into the semi-finals. Aaron Connolly picks up possession, wants to get into Glenn Murray. Will turn back to goal. Connolly there, goes down, penalty. Was it a fair one?
Looked harsh.
John Egan.
He can see exactly where I'm going, no?
Not done anything wrong. I mean, there's no arrow on the screen. You can't see where you're going.
Yes, come on.
I had to
Love
turn
Connolly.
me.
Here comes Connolly, there he goes.
Oh! There's not, no, I had to turn
Unbelievable chance for the Seagulls.
I can't see it. No, I can't.
I promise you, Aaron, he couldn't see that one,
harsh.
but
No, but I couldn't see. I can't take a pen without the target.
Never a pen anyway.
John said it was never a pen anyway. Still goalless.
Go on, Moose. Go on, Moose.
Win it.
Go on, Moose. We win.
unbelievable recovery run there from Lewis Dunk at the bat, but chance goes begging for the Seagulls. Could have been 1-0. Penalty missed from Aaron Connolly. 20 minutes played. Here, day 4 of the EPL Invitational. Here comes Connolly now. Watch out for Glenn Murray. We'll look for the overlap. Connolly back again. Back to Glenn Murray. Tell you what, he's been pretty solid at the back, John Egan.
Yeah, he has. I'm impressed with what I've seen so far from Alan Connolly in the attacking areas, I've got to say. The little passes on the edge of the box, looking for the openings. It's very cute. It's quite precise on the edge of the box. I'm liking how he's going forward here in the opening third of our quarter-final.
Be careful there. Lewis Dunk completely out of position for the Seagulls, but Brighton still in possession somehow. Connolly will get pushed over. Remember, as we said, all players 85 rated, but those two forwards in Aaron Connolly and Glenn Murray both will have 91 pace to their name. On the flip side of that, the likes of McGoldrick and Musette with some incredible pace statistics as well.
Yeah, not only that, but the wide players as well. They're extremely efficient, getting in behind, off of the bench as well. We've not really seen that many substitutions. Maybe something that we'll potentially see later into the tournament. What? The impact subs off of the bench. Oh no, what has happened here? McGoldrick looking for the dink. Saved. The blushes of Matty Ryan there.
Should have went for the chip, man.
What a simple mistake that was. Such a simple pass out from the bat. Matty Ryan. Unfortunately, chose the wrong pass. Nearly was made to pay for that one. Was Aaron Connolly. Chances for either side. Davy Proper. Back to Glenn Murray. Aaron Connolly twisted and turning. Well defended again. The timing of his tackles have been unbelievable.
Right place, right time, isn't it, so far? For John Egan at the back. All those defenders seem to be
getting
positioned accordingly.
Trossard
into the back.
Was there. Bounces back to Aaron Connolly. Davy Proper, will he let rip? Again, there's another Sheffield United player in the way. That was just defensive instincts from John Egan here, but he's been very, very solid at the back. Keep talking about it because every single time he makes another tackle and it's timed to perfection.
Also, just looking, see how high those fullback wingbacks are as well. Ollie Norwood inside the box, letting rip into the bottom left corner. John Egan soaking up the pressure and hitting hard just before half-time.
And letting rip against his former club as well. 1-0 to the Blades. John Egan will lead at the perfect time. 43 minutes on the clock. And Sheffield United, they could be going into the break with a 1-goal scoreline. It will be George Baldock into the book there. Free kick from some distance. Bernardo will be over it. I'm expecting probably to be played short. That's exactly what will happen. Needs to get that ball forward though, because additional time will be ticking over in just a second. Davy proper. Back to Connolly. Has he gone too wide and just got confused with what he wanted to do? Pass or shot? I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, I think you're wanting to play back into
the half
proper, instead of looking for the more direct pass. You want to sort of lay it off, but a pretty captivating first half performance so far, Brandon.
Back to the walls there for
that will do us for half time. The Blades were very small advantage.
We've got away with it
on our home turf. And plenty of time left in this one though, in our third quarter final of the day.
Your last minute blocks. Ready?
Aaron, did I hear you say to John then that you've got away with one?
Of course he has. Have you not? Oh, no, to be fair, the stats don't say much, but I've had all the ball.
John, what do you want to say to that? Have you got away with one backs to the wall a little bit?
He's good around the box. Like, you just have to stay patient and get the blocks in. But no, he's good. Tough game. Like, I only had a couple of good chances there. Probably could have maybe done a bit more, 1 or 2, but it's a tight game, edgy game.
Yeah, you took your goal really well. Do you think you're going to go on and win this now?
I hope so. A lot bit to go. A lot of FIFA to be played yet. I will see. Hopefully.
All right then, guys. I'll let you guys get on with the second half. Good luck to both of you. Back over to our commentators, Brandon and Rich.
Yeah, you ready?
Thank you very much, John. And not too many words to be said between these two, because in all honesty, Richard, Aaron knows where he's gone wrong. He had a penalty that should have gone into the back of the net. Unfortunately,
forgot about
something that he hasn't really brushed up too much coming into this EPL Invitational tournament.
In all honesty, it could have been 2 for John Egan. That mistake at the back from Matty Ryan, he went for the dink in the end. If maybe he goes for a finesse shot or a power shot there instead, that's a golden opportunity, almost as good as a penalty. In terms of how valuable that chance was.
Oh, yeah.
What's Trossard now? Actually, let's get counted out in the end. Ollie Norwood on the ball. The player that has got the goal for the Blades of all people. Centre midfielder. Musette. We look to set that one back inside instead. A big deflection. Bernardo, that was...
Get that moves.
We actually isolated Lewis Dunk out of the position there as well. Musette charging down the left-hand side, made Dunk come across. You wanting to pull those centre-backs into positions out wide. That's Aaron Moy driving forward from midfield. That's one apiece. Level game.
You're through there, man. I thought it blocked.
Aaron Moy getting the big goal, Brandon, for Connolly.
Yeah, massive goal. Aaron, that must feel nice. Back in the game now. Plenty of time left as well.
Yeah, it's good that. Just played off Eags. Made the run off Egan, and it was an easy enough one after that.
I wish it was Connolly that was through and goal. He would have skied it.
Well, this game sits perfectly now, Richard. Just over a third of it left as well. 1-1 the score between Brighton of Albion and, of course, Sheffield United.
Hit it. Oh, chest.
Baldock all the way over.
Oh, someone's ringing the bell.
Not the time.
Get in there.
Aaron Connolly. It's Aaron Connolly.
Played about Connolly through on there.
It doesn't matter if someone's at the door or ringing the phone. Connolly still scores.
What am I doing, man?
Get in there. Come on.
Beautiful finish. Killed it into that bottom left corner. And the attacking play of Brighton Hove Albion coming up clutch in the second half.
Again, it's that bold move, isn't it? He's made himself captain and it's delivered again. Aaron Connolly on the score sheet, 2-1 to the away side at Bramall Lane. Remember, whoever wins this will go into a semi-final and then we'll be waiting patiently for either Chelsea or Norwich to join them. McGoldrick back to Mousset, another fantastic block at the back.
There's been a few, haven't there, Brandon? Big centre-back performances in the ePremier League Invitational. We're seeing another defensive masterclass here with the blocks at the back, whipped onto the edge for Aaron Moy. It's not going to bounce to John Fleck, who can bring it forward, but
quantity
are so strong.
This could be it.
McGoldrick.
This could be 2-2. It has to be. McGoldrick goes for the chip. Is it going to be in? No! How?
Sure.
McGoldrick 1-on-1. He's dinked it over the goalkeeper. He's beat Matty Ryan inches past the post. What a chance.
It's one of those, Richard, where you just got to go for the dink. You just sit back and you watch. That's exactly what John Egan did. He had to sit back and watch to see if it'd go into the back of the net. Chance down the other end. Does it come to anything? Sheffield United will break again. 20 minutes left now.
Gets in there, Matty.
Into Oliver Norwood, who's already got one. Matty Ryan, the huge right hand there to keep the Blade centre midfielder out from getting a brace in this game.
2 times in the last 10 minutes, John Egan has got down that fight in between full-back and centre-back. What is happening here? He's off for the finesse. He's bounced back to the original shot taker. Matty Ryan's on the floor. Open goal for Lundstrom. 2 apiece.
You can forget the forwards for Sheffield United. It's been the centre midfielders that have been on the score sheet. 2-2. Remember, if we are drawing after 90 minutes, we will be going to a golden goal scenario. There's still time left. Do not get us wrong, but we've seen it happen before. We saw it happen earlier today between Michael Obafemi of Southampton and James Maddison of Leicester City. Of course, Maddison won that game. The golden goal. Familiar prospect in the quarter-finals.
John Egan's already had late drama here in the ePremier League Invitation. It was a 90th minute winner against Jofra Archer of Manchester United. Put him into the quarters. Chance. Oh, has he brought it back for a free kick or has he gone for the corner? It is going to be the corner.
That's it.
Head of the way. Duffy with the shot, blazed towards goal. Another deflection, another corner. Into the box. Towards the front post, unfortunately. High over the bar. Wow. 10 minutes left in this game. Score at 2-2. Really, really hard to call which way this game is going to go.
Been very impressed by McGoldrick. His hold-up play. Just that goal kick there, just pinged into him. He won it, and then Sheffield United can play off of him.
Fleck. Back to McGoldrick. Norwood still. Straight back though, Aaron Connolly has. Aaron Moy has to come back and defend. They've already got a goal for the Albion. Chance to break forward. 7 minutes left in this game. Which way will it go? So many Brighton shirts going forward now. Was that the right pass? Connolly will latch onto it. Can't get round O'Connell though at the back.
So open.
Will we get more late drama from Sheffield United? Will it be the Seagulls soaring high? Mousset looks to be in behind. Mousset across the goalkeeper. Sheffield United love a late goal in the ePremier League Invitational.
And he might have lost last time out in the ePL Invitational. Mousset losing to Diogo Jota this time. He could be the man to send the Blades into a semi-final.
Is there people, is it?
Nah, but just wait for the opportunity.
come back.
Right back
Aaron
to the
Connolly.
yeah. That's a disgraceful way to be playing.
Oh, no. Game management in use.
Get in the corner.
Tell you what, there's a semi-final on the line for it. This should be it. This should be done. Job done for Sheffield United and John Egan. First name into that semi-final, either beat Chelsea or Norwich, joining them. One more goal to finish it, and that's how he's going to do it.
The Moose has produced.
Out the window from John Connolly, from Aaron Connolly. The John Egan. That's job done. He will be into the semi-finals now, and the Blades will go one step further in this tournament.
The Moose has produced. That might be my new favourite quote.
Good game, boys. Good game.
I always say he won that game.
What do you mean? Second half. You went 2-1 up, bud. Got a bit excited. Lot of FIFA to be played. That was a good game. When you went 2-1 up, I was thinking if I concede next year, I'm gone. Wasn't no, take that.
Semi-final.
First half, you had a lot of the ball around.
The Moose
penalty, you thought I could see the arrow
produced,
for the pen, didn't you?
I know, I thought you could see it.
I couldn't see it, but I didn't want to
No,
say
because I
anything.
turned it off and then I couldn't see it myself.
Yeah. Oh man, buzzing with that.
John, let's speak to you first. Congratulations, you are in the semi-final, and in your own words, the Moose has produced for you.
Yeah, you can always count on the Moose, especially in FIFA. No, I'm delighted. Good crack playing with Aaron. But yeah, I'm buzzing out to be in the semi-final.
John, I did think at one point you gave it the commentator's curse when you said, I wish it was Connolly through on goal, and then the next chance it was Connolly through on goal, and he scored. But were you regretting that at the time?
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I knew what was coming. So when he did it, I was just laughing. But no, he's a good player. Like first half, he was on top, to be fair. But I just kind of kept in there with a good defending and got the job done in the second half. He went 2-1 up and probably underestimated me and came back with a bang.
Aaron, you've got your head in your hands. Did you underestimate him? He said in his own words, you underestimated him. Did you?
Yeah, I think I did. You know, I thought I was on top, and now I'm looking at the stats here. He's absolutely battered me in the second half. He's a
good friend as well. Do you want him to go on and win it, or do you think he'll be rubbing it in for many years to come if he does win it? What do you want him to do now?
To go on and win it.
Top man.
Yeah, I'd want him to go on and win it.
John, final word with our winner. John, what would it mean to you? We've seen it's been such a fantastic tournament, so many players involved, celebrities, you've had influencers, ex-players, so many fans on social media getting behind the team. Just tell us how great it's been representing Sheffield United and what this tournament has meant for you, all for a great cause as well.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Didn't really know what to expect, but kind of the fans engage with it a lot, especially for the young lads, young fans. It's brilliant to give everyone something to watch while this is all going on. And I mean, the crack and the banter is all part of it too. And, they get to watch a few of us play for their teams and good fun.
And what would it mean to win it for Sheffield United? What would that mean for you?
Yeah, it would be great. But, I came into it not expecting much after winning 2 games. So I'm sure it'll be another tough game. Yeah, it'd be brilliant to see what the semi-finals is.
Brilliant. Thank you very much to both of you. Aaron, been brilliant all tournament. Thank you very much for being a part of this. John, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow for the semi-final.
Cheers. Take care.
Cheers. Thank
you.
Well done, Aaron.
So there we go, Joe. Another close game, but John Egan edging it, and John Egan is in the semi-final.
Yeah, there was one of my favourite moments of the tournament then when that 4th goal went in. I think if you watch it back, Aaron just launched the controller against the wall. He was absolutely raging when it hit the net after passing it around the back for about 30 seconds. That was one of the best games I've seen, just for the crack between the players more than anything else, Smithy.
Joe, do you think it's better or worse losing? Because you've seen a few close mates come up against each other. Callum Wilson lost to, as he described, one of his best friends. James Maddison described Callum Wilson as his older brother. He won 8-1 in that game. And we've seen 2 teammates now losing, 2 close friends. Do you think it's better or even worse losing to a close friend in this tournament?
Absolutely worse. Losing to one of your own pals, isn't it? It always is, because they just never let you forget it. I'm sure that Aaron will be straight on the WhatsApp messages between him and John Egan after this, giving him some abuse. And John Egan now can just sit there and go, you know what? That was an easy victory for me. And now we can confirm, can't we, that Sheffield United will be the team that go through to the semi-finals. John Egan put in a fantastic performance to beat Brighton and Aaron Connolly 4-2. We can see as well what it means for the draw in full. The left-hand side of the draw now sees Sheffield United in the semi-final. And next up, we will be able to watch Norwich against Chelsea. That will be Max Aarons, of course, who knocked Ryan Sessegnon out at the earlier round 4-1 up against Emerson in a much, much anticipated game, Smithy.
Yeah, as you quite rightly said, the winner of Norwich against Chelsea will play Sheffield United. It is our final game of day 4, and it is coming up for you live at 6 o'clock. So we'll be back very shortly. And just a final reminder for everyone watching, please do stay home and save live. We'll be back soon. See you then. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to the second ePremier League Invitational. I'm Adam Smith and pleased to say I will be alongside Joe Tomlinson as we look to find out who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player in the Premier League. We're currently on day 4. We've got one more quarter final to bring you, Joe.
Yes, indeed. We've had so many good games. Hopefully we get another one coming up in just a second. But a quick reminder, please do stay home and help save lives. It's really important. And that the ePremier League Invitational Prize Fund will be donated to the Players Together initiative too. So that's great to see. Right, let's have a look at this last quarter-final match coming your way between Norwich and Chelsea. It's going to see Max Aarons going up against Emerson. We can also see the draw in full here. Max Aarons had to beat Ryan Sessegnon to get to this stage, and he did so pretty comfortably. 4-1 victor over the Spurs star. And for Emerson, he had to get past Andre Gray, and it was a tough game, but he did so 4-2. The winner of this match will go on to play John Egan of Sheffield United at the semi-final. Quick rules reminder then from you, Smithy, if we can.
Yes, Joe, with pleasure, my friend. Here are the all-important rules you need to be aware of. The EPL Invitational is a straight knockout tournament. Every round consists of just one game. All 20 Premier League clubs have been represented either by a player from their squad, an ex-pro or celebrity fan, although no celebrity fans or ex-pros remain. These are the all-important in-game rules. 2 6-minute halves. In the event of a draw, golden goal will be used to determine the winner, as we saw earlier today when James Maddison needed a golden goal to defeat Michael Obafemi of Southampton. Lastly, 85 rated Premier League squads in kickoff mode on the PS4 to determine who is the ultimate FIFA 20 player.
Yeah, and we can have a look at some of the goals that people have already seen today because there have been some brilliant finishes and some brilliant games. The first match between James Maddison and Michael Obafemi was a blockbuster. Michael Obafemi actually went 2-0 up, despite the fact James Maddison was trying to play mind games, wasn't he? He was saying, oh, I hope it's not going to be another 9-0. Look at Michael Obafemi shushing Madders in celebration. But then it all went wrong. A goal on the stroke of half-time made it 2-1. Then second half was all Maddison. He equalised with himself before turning the game on its head with Kelechi Iheanacho. Look at that celebration and what it meant to him. But Michael Obafemi went up the other end and he equalised himself to take it to golden goal before James Maddison, with his own in-game character, produced a moment of brilliance that made Michael Obafemi walk off and put his head in his hands. Game number 2 was between Burnley and Aston Villa. Charlie Taylor, been a bit of a surprise package to get to this stage, but maybe it was one game too far. Keinan Davis, who both Brandon and Rich, our commentators, called one of the favourites to win this competition, put on the best display of the tournament so far. He scored 8 goals and was 4-0 up by half-time against the Burnley Stars. Charlie Taylor did get one of his own in the second half, but he couldn't stop the Keinan Davis onslaught. Keinan Davis scoring there with Trezeguet. He also scored with himself. He got a brace for Jack Grealish. It was all too much for Charlie Taylor. And Keinan Davis, must be said, is now looking like the favourite to win the EPL Invitational after such an incredible performance. 14 goals in 2 games for the young Villa striker. Sheffield United versus Brighton saw 2 Ireland teammates go head-to-head, and it was a brilliant watch. John Egan went 1-0 up, but Aaron Connolly pulled it back with that goal from Aaron Moy. He then got a second with his own in-game character. Look at the celebrations. John Egan getting a bit nervous, but this little lucky bobble fell back to Lundstrom, and he equalised with it. The third goal also went John Egan's name. The Moose produced, in the words of the centre-back, and Sheffield United got a 4th goal too to really seal it. What drama we've had today, Smithy. It's been so fun to watch, hasn't it?
Joe, I'm going to call it now. We've had so many great games, but this has been the day of the tournament. It's had absolutely everything. We've seen a golden goal. We've seen shushes. We've seen people leave the room and come back. We've seen 2 Ireland teammates go at it, and we've seen an absolute thrashing. It's had absolutely everything. Certainly for me, mate, this has been the day of the tournament so far, and another big game still to come.
Yeah, I think I probably agree with you. My favourite moment of the tournament as well, Aaron Connolly absolutely launching his controller against the wall when that 4th goal went in from John Egan. That's exactly what I want to see, because that's exactly what we would all do when we're playing against our friends, isn't it, Smithy?
Absolutely right. I'm pleased to say now we can speak to the players. So first up, I'm going to speak to the home player, Max Aarons of Norwich. Max, good to have you back with us today. How are you feeling going into this one, mate?
Yeah, after yesterday's result against Ryan, I'm taking that performance into this game and hopefully can get the win. So yeah, I'm confident.
You must take a lot of positives from that performance because Ryan Sessegnon was many people one of the favourites going into this. He knocked out the favourite, Spencer. Many people said Spencer was the favourite going into it, and Ryan Sessegnon beat him in one. And you beat him quite comfortably 4-1. So you've got to take a lot of confidence from that performance that you can go potentially all the way in this tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I know how good Sess was, having roomed with him in England under-21s and playing on there. So going into the game, I knew I had to be on a good level. So I'm sure it won't be an easy task today. But yeah, I'm confident, as I've said, and I'll obviously winning 4-1 yesterday. Yeah, it's looking good.
What do you know about your opponent, Emerson? 4-2 victory, looked fairly comfortable in his game. Do you know anything about his FIFA playing ability?
I don't, I had a little watch of his games to see if I could see any tactics that he's doing, but not really. I don't really know too much about him as a player.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, Max. All the best in your quarterfinal match. Those are the thoughts of Max Aarons ahead of our last quarterfinal of the day.
So there we go. We can speak to Emerson as well now, his opponent. Emerson, as we said, a really good victory in your first game, 4-2. How are you feeling today?
Yeah.
We can't actually hear you at the moment, Emerson, so we will come back to you in just a second. We've got a few technical issues, I think, behind the scenes. Nevertheless, we are going to be able to bring you this game in just a few seconds. Smithy, looking forward to the game, nevertheless. Max there was talking about how confident he is, and I think Emerson, despite the fact we can't hear him just yet, will be confident as well.
Yeah, we can't put words into his mouth because we didn't hear what he said, but they both look very relaxed, I think it's fair to say. So let's bring in our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Brandon, I spoke earlier. I don't know for you, we've seen so many great games, but for me, this has been the day of the tournament. It's had absolutely everything, day 4, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Smithy. It's been such an entertaining day. We've had some fantastic games from start to finish. We've had some fantastic banter between players, good friends as well, of course, in the football circuit. And we've had some amazing reactions. You saw Aaron Connolly throw his controller into the sofa in our last game. We saw golden goal drama for James Maddison up against Michael Obafemi. And for me, I can't wait for this one. I don't know if you remember, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I said about Max Aarons, Ryan Sessegnon, whoever won that game could go and win the whole tournament. And Max Aarons won that game. So for me, I'm saying watch out for this kid. Watch out for him.
Ooh, okay. And speaking of good banter and good friends, let's bring in someone who has good banter. Your good friend, Richard Buckley. Richard, let's look ahead to this match. How do you see this one going, mate?
I feel like Brandon said that there's going to be a winner out of every game so far. Brandon, you've got to stop saying that everyone's going to win it. We can only have one winner. Unfortunately, not for Emerson there, but I do have to say something. Cracking hair. I liked the little slit. I'm a big fan of that. I'm thinking myself, I might get the Emerson slit.
Okay, there we go. So we thought we were going to talk about the game, but we are talking about Richard Buckley's haircut. Richard, it looks absolutely fantastic, may I add. We're almost ready to go. Both players looking very relaxed, it has to be said. Max Aarons and Emerson, we are ready to go with the game. We're in the arena at the minute, so let's pass back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Smithy. And yeah, here we go then. Our last quarterfinal of the day. We'll see Norwich up against Chelsea. It'll be Emerson up against Max Aarons. The battle of the fullbacks in our final game of the day. The winner will go through to a semi-final that takes place tomorrow up against Sheffield United. This is going to be an interesting one, Richard. We've seen Max Aarons play before. We saw him in the Football Staying Home Cup. Didn't have maybe the run he would have wanted in that tournament. Still made a quarter-final. But on another day, I reckon he could have went further. We saw him up against Ryan Sessegnon, and he seemed like quite a polished FIFA player.
Yeah, he went out to the eventual winner, didn't he, in Cantwell in the Football Stay Home tournament. Here, in the ePremier League Invitational, 4-1 victory over Spurs. I really don't think there's that much to separate these two. 4-1 win for Max, 4-2 win for Emerson. in his first game here. We'll see how they're getting on in the quarterfinals. We're looking for our final semi-finalist for tomorrow.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable result, wasn't it, last time out? Up against Ryan Sessegnon, one of the favourites in the tournament. Chance now for Norwich early on. We'll go down to ground. But on the other side of that, for Emerson, it was, what you'd say, quite a comfortable win up against Andre Gray of Watford.
Just looking here, early stages, we saw Emerson with the sort of skill moves, quite a Flair-esque play to his attack when he was playing against Watford in his first game here. But defensively, there's been a few gaps back there so far. Hernandez looks to cross it into the box, and Pukki was lurking. 8 minutes in, there's been a couple of chances already for the Canaries.
Going into the box now. Tell you what, that's the deepest corner I think I've seen in a long time. It's gone out for a throw-in. There you go.
I don't think that was intended on the set piece from Max. You saw just a little smirk come across his face as it got whipped out for a throw-in.
The players giving possession away quite needless here. Here's another chance now for Norwich if they can break through the defence of Chelsea. Emerson at the back, very calm, very collective as well. It's been a really good tournament, Richard, for both of these two, because last time out in the first ever ePremier League Invitational, both teams actually went out in the round of 16. So the fact they're both in a quarter-final, with one of them definitely going on to the semi-final, it's certainly been an improvement.
Yeah, they've represented their clubs better than previously. However, in the first sort of 15 minutes here, it's been all Norwich. Pukki looking for that R1 square cross through the back post. He's done that a couple of times, looking for the whipped cross. One through ball, and Pedro is literally in right now for Emerson. Across the goalkeeper. Is he going to drop? Somehow cleared.
Still not dealt with.
By Aarons.
Jorginho actually scored a penalty in that round of 16 game. And it will be just offside for Olivier Giroud. But yeah, we haven't seen much in terms of an attacking presence from Emerson. But one ball, it's all it took, Richard. Spread the play open. Pedro was through, and on another day, that would be 1-0 to the Blues in this game.
I think it could be potentially a 4-3-3 in action for Emerson. Pedro very wide on that right-hand side, and Willian on the left. Could actually be a 4-4-2. I'm trying to see who he's got up top. It looks like Giroud is the striker for him. For Emerson.
If you remember in the last game, Richard, Max Aaron did have a penalty early on, and it was Teemu Pukki that stepped up. Unfortunately, couldn't score that goal, but the end result didn't matter because he got a very, very strong result in the end up against Ryan Sessegnon. 4-1 it was. Plenty of goals in that one.
Sessegnon, I would say as well, lost his head a little bit in that game. I think Max Aaron's, the couple of early goals that sort of put him in front, Sessegnon sort of just, I don't know, I think he just lost composure, the best way of saying it. Whereas in this game, he
walked out of the room, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah, there's been no chat whatsoever. I don't think there will be. Both players fully focused on the game in front of him. As Aaron comes across and steals the ball off Willian there, but still 0-0. Chances at either end in the game so far. Who's going to be the first to break the deadlock?
Somewhat what you expect as well from a quarter-final, Richard, for it to be such a tightly contested game. The finals day place on the line tomorrow. Of course, we'll be bringing you both semi-finals and that grand final tomorrow. Day 5 of 5, that will be of the EPL Invitational. It's been another fantastic tournament once again. Full of shocks, surprises, and lots of laughs along the way. Nearly a third of this game gone now. Norwich enjoying having the ball out on the left-hand side or the right-hand side and looking for the crosses into the box. Tete on the edge of the box. He'll try forward. He'll go on his own.
I seem to remember Tete scoring a worldie a couple of years ago, Brandon, in the Premier League. Not really a player that does get forward from midfield to create a lot of chances. Stinging the hands of Kepa there at his near post, but still. Emerson remaining strong at the back.
Godfrey jumping up there, but losing that battle on the air. Of course, both players starting themselves in this game, as you would expect as well. Max Aaron's making a huge run. He's actually at the back post right now. If he can somehow latch onto this one, will he look for him? Lovely ball. Timu Pukki, ball across the back. There's Cantwell. Has to go in.
Where's the mould?
Rudiger back there doing the defensive work. And again, look at that one through ball, trying to find Pedro. He's been the danger man so far.
Kovacic. Back to Pedro. He's had all the ball at the moment on this right-hand side. Has been so important in every single Chelsea attack. Is punched away by Tim Krul, nearly on for a finish for N'Golo Kante. Chances at either end. Maybe this game is slowly starting to come to life. Hernandez. Napoli will play into the finish forward. That's a great ball. Into Todd Cantwell. Will he look for a direct cross? He will. Kepa will stretch, but not stretched enough.
Giroud looking for another through ball. I'll tell you what, he's been picking out these passes very well, has Emerson. When he gets the ball in the final third, a little bit too direct to me. I'd like to see more build-up play. Just like we've seen here from Max Aarons, playing through the sort of gaps that are created for him. Whereas Emerson, more direct and more straight into the target man. Pukki looking to dance around Rudiger. Chelsea centre-half does well.
Yeah, Norwich have certainly had more of the possession, Richard, but on the other side of that, it's certainly been more smash and grab from Chelsea, counter-attacking football. They've not needed too many touches on the ball. Added time of just 2 minutes left. Could be going into a little bit of a stalemate at half-time. Haven't seen too much. Or will it all change now? Pukki with a chance. Fantastic save from Kepa. Azpilicueta's there at the back post, and that'll be the 2 minutes of this half played, unless the referee will play this one on. You can't go back. And at half-time, 0-0 between Norwich and Chelsea in our final quarter-final of the day.
Yes, it is 0-0 at the half-time stage. Not often that we've said that in this tournament. No goals to speak of in the first half. Let's speak to Max Aarons. Emerson's got a few issues with his microphone, so we'll speak to Max from Norwich. Max, your assessment of the first half. Close game.
Yeah, I can feel it's a bit tense. Neither of us are taking too many risks. But I think I just edged it in possession, and had a few more chances. So it's just about taking them now.
Yeah, I was just looking at the stats there. You did edge possession. Are you still quietly confident that you've got this? You're going to make any changes at half-time or stick with what you're doing now?
No, yeah, I'm not making any changes. Just tweaking a few little things. That's it.
And I think he had that one-on-one as well. You a bit worried at that point?
Yeah, he's got in a bit easily down the sides, but hopefully now if I tweak it at half-time, he won't get in as easy. So we'll see.
Okay, we'll get back into the second half. It is 0-0 between Norwich and Chelsea in our fourth game of the day and our last quarter-final. Who will be joining the other teams in the semi-final? We're about to find out. Let's hand back to our commentators, Brandon and Richard.
Thank you very much, Smithy. And here we go then. Last 45 minutes of day 4 of the EPL Invitational. I say last 45 minutes, Richard. This could go to golden goal if it's goalless after 90 minutes. But I just feel like there could be something else in the meantime.
Very well could at the minute. I feel like Max Aaron's created more chances, but the real one clear-cut chance was with Pedro. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Maybe had a little bit too much time. Sort of deliberated what finish he wanted to go with. Did he want to go near post? Did he want to go across the goalkeeper? Try and take it around him. And a good save from the Norwich GK.
Here comes Norwich now. Look for the ball across the box. There's Timu Pukki. And there's the breakthrough that we've been waiting for in this game. And it will come from the finish forward. In the 51st minute, Norwich have the breakthrough at Carroll Road.
All created by Hernandez. Great dribbling down the line from Max Aarons. He sort of just waited to get into that position where he could cut it back for the finish striker up top. And that could be 2. McLean makes it 2. Max Aarons coming out firing in the second half. 2-0 up in 8 minutes.
Max, if you can hear us, what a start to the half. Probably best one that you could have imagined.
Yeah. big half-time team talk. Lads have come out firing.
Did you make
Certainly.
any little tactical changes at half-time, Max?
Yeah, I did. I don't know if Emerson can hear me, but yeah, I changed. Asked me and Jamal, our left back, to stay back a bit more. So
There you go. A few tactical changes made for Max Aarons. Maybe not in the attacking centre, Richard, but why would you change anything now? You've just scored 2 goals. Could be a third here. Hernandez looking for a third for Norwich. Which way will he go? Cuts inside for the sweaty in the end, but Kepa will pick that one up. 60 minutes on the clock. We've been waiting a long time to see goals. We've just seen 2 in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, Emerson really under pressure right now in this quarter-final. Looking to join Leicester, Aston Villa and Sheffield United in finals day tomorrow. Norwich are 30 minutes away.
Kante. Oh, the bounce. It would have
Bounced
really
anywhere.
fell to Olivier Giroud, Richard.
I think Giroud almost went wide a little bit. If he'd have stayed more central, he'd have been in the right place there, would Olivier Giroud. That's a pretty reckless kick out of the back.
He's giving it straight back to Pukki, hasn't it? Ball across the box. That's got to be it. Hernandez just over the bar.
no.
No, surely not. Oh, that was a gift.
Could have been the game.
Got to take
could
that.
have been.
3 times now, Emerson. Just such simple passes out the back, Richard, where Emerson's messed up a few times now. Could have easily been 3-4-0 to Norwich by this point.
You heard Max say it as well. He got to take that with Pukki. Usually so clinical in one-on-one situations. Cantwell drifting forward from midfield. Into Pukki, looking to thread it through to McLean. Somehow goes wide again. All Norwich. This could be 5.
It's lucky for Emerson as well, Richard, that he's not 3 or 4-0 down. But again, it's at the back. He hasn't looked too confident. Passes going astray. Goalkeeper passing the ball short as well to the likes of Pukki, McLean. They've all had chances. Chance now for Emerson. Something's got to happen here. Went for a cross into the box. It took a deflection. Fallen back to another Chelsea man. But Tete back to defend for the Canaries. 2-0. 15 minutes left in this one. At this moment in time, it looks like they're going to be going into the semi-finals to go up against John Egan.
What a
and that'll be Sheffield United.
That was a ridiculous pass, Max, that switch of play. I have to say.
Yeah. Thought he's got that one in the locker.
Yeah, Emerson not too happy with that. He can't handle this pressure, it seems, from Norwich. Look, he's just giving away the ball again. This could be 3. Another chance.
You saw the aggravation from Emerson. That's how much it means to these players. They're representing the football club in one game of FIFA. All the fans, all the other players, everybody at Chelsea will be watching this game.
The thing is as well, Richard, for Emerson, he's been trying to do a few skill moves to try and be unpredictable, but Max Aarons just read all the tackles, every single ball, he's first to it. Tete. Chance on the edge, Norwich once again. Just seems like, Richard, as a Norwich player, every single time Emerson wants to try and get that ball forward, just standing in his way.
I have to say,
Game
I have to
set
talk
match.
about composure, Brandon. Composure being the big thing in games. Second half, Max Aarons has been clinical in the final third.
I'll take the words out of his mouth. He said, game, set and match. That will be job done. The Canaries will be booking a place in a semi-final tomorrow as part of our finals day. They'll be going up against Sheffield United and John Egan. It'll be a battle once again of the defenders in that one, and they'll make it to a final 4. They've done so much better in this tournament, of course, than last time. They went out in the round of 16. This time, They've gone 2 steps further.
Oh, no.
Oh, keeper. Oh, keeper. Awful touch. Can he score? Emerson will. And he'll be onside as well. If anything, the consolation.
He tried playing all the way back to the goalkeeper. An absolute woeful touch from Tim Krul, giving it on a plate to Emerson. He had that chance in the first half with Pedro. You've got to say, the chances were coming through Max Aaron's fullbacks pushing up. At half-time, he told his fullbacks to stay back while attacking. Emerson's attacking flair, you've got to say, in this second half, hasn't really been there because of the tactical change. A stroke of genius from Max Aaron's.
Referee, that should do us. Added time of 2 minutes has been played, and that will be game, set and match. Max Aaron's books a place into the semi-finals. And unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to Chelsea's Emerson at this stage of the tournament. We're down to our final 4 now, and I can't wait for that finals day tomorrow.
Ed? Max, you confirm your place in the semi-final. You must be absolutely delighted with that one.
Yeah, really good performance. Solid performance. And glad to get the win. Looking forward to the next round, yeah.
And obviously at half-time, you said that you were dropping your fullbacks a little bit deeper. Do you think that had a big impact on the game? Is that something you're going to look to do in the semi-finals from the start, maybe?
Yeah, Emerson was getting in easy in the first half down the side, so I had to make that little change. But I'm not sure if I'll start like that in the next game or see how it plays out in the next game. Go from there.
And obviously, we lost Todd Cantwell at the first hurdle. You've gone all the way to the semi-finals. Are you going to be sending him a little bit of a message saying, "Oh, Todd, I'm the better FIFA player"?
Yeah, I don't know why he was in the first round ahead of me for that tournament. So I'll probably give him a bit of stick now. Obviously, I've got further than him now. So yeah.
And you're going to go up against John Egan at the semi-final stage. It's a tough game. Have you seen any of John's games so far? Because he's been pretty clinical in front of goal.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen any of his games. I guess I'll have to have a look now. I don't know when the game will be, but I've got a bit of time to have a look at see how he plays. So yeah, it should be interesting.
There we go then. Congratulations, Max. Commiserations to you, Emerson. Unfortunately, we can't hear your microphone. That's why I've not been able to speak to you. But commiserations. Thank you so much, both of you, for being involved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Smithy, that was a hell of a game, wasn't it?
It was a great game. And I think a bit of a tactical genius there. The boys in commentary mentioned it. Max Aaron's just making a little tactical change at half-time, and it certainly prevailed. Interesting, when I spoke to them at half-time, though, it was 0-0, which is very rare in this tournament. We haven't seen 0-0 at the half-time stage hardly at all in this tournament. But I did feel like Max Aaron's was dominating that game. We looked at the possession stats and the shots, and it was all Max Aaron's in the second half. So we now know, Joe, the 4 semi-finalists ahead of finals day tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. We have confirmation of all 4 results. We can have a look at them, just in case anybody did miss them. Leicester City, James Maddison there, beating Michael Obafemi and Southampton 4-3 in a golden goal thriller. Keinan Davis made light work, it has to be said, of Charlie Taylor in one of the most impressive displays we've seen in this EPL Invitational, 8-1. John Egan came through 4-2 victor for Sheffield United against his good friend Aaron Connolly of Brighton. And there you've just seen Norwich beat Chelsea, Max Aaron's, with a really accomplished performance, I think it's fair to say, Smithy. We've also got the draw here for you and what you can expect to see on finals day. So it'll be 2 semi-finals, one between Norwich and Sheffield United. That'll be Max Aaron's versus John Egan, and one semi-final between Keinan Davis and James Maddison, all with the hope of playing in that grand final and taking home the EPL Invitational trophy, Smithy.
Yes, exactly that, Joe. Finals day tomorrow, as you said, it will be both semi-finals and the final from 5 o'clock. Who will be crowned EPL Invitational Winner 2? We know that Diogo Jota won that the first time round for Wolves. It's going to be one of those 4 players that you mentioned. Just a final reminder from all of us here, please do stay at home in an attempt to save lives. We will see you for finals day tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Bye-bye.